It's a lot of craziness going on in college football, man. What's happening?
What you calling craziness?
I
Man, what's
mean,
going on?
what we've become accustomed to in college football over the past years, decades, centuries, isn't what we see today in college football.
Oh nah. I think it's changing as we see it. And in 2 years we're gonna be saying, "Hey man, remember college football? The coaches couldn't buy the players pizza."
Yeah, it's just changing dramatically. The landscape as far as the competition wise with the schools. I know today some news came out about they're not going to go punish schools for going over the 25 scholarship limit anymore. That's big for a lot of schools who have the turnover from the transfer portal and the graduation rates. So they will let you, if you could sign up to 40 players in high school class, you could get them. You know what I'm saying? If it stays within that 85 scholarship limit. That's the crazy part. Like, so now the major schools who already do a good job at recruiting, what if they want to add 35 players? So we'll see how that's going to get. Got a bunch of things we're probably going to end up discussing today. You got who you got with us? Johnson. Got your man Johnson with us. What's happening?
What's going on, X?
Ain't nothing, man. Chilling, relaxing on a Wednesday.
Listen, that's
scholarship thing.
That's going to be big for all the big schools to even add more kids going over the limit for from 25 to whatever number they reach. Smaller schools, it's not going to be so good.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Okay, for the big schools, even if they go over, would it be something where they start forcing the older guys out who haven't accomplished anything so far on the field? Like they've been there maybe 3-4 years, and they haven't scratched the surface yet. Do they automatically get forced out, or like?
Well, shit, X. That's what they doing now in the transfer portal. Truth be told,
Yeah.
but behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Like I understand, like a that scholarship is a binding contract, but like you guys say, when you got a kid in the room, he 18, 19, his parents not there, coaches telling him, hey man, I think it's better that you go to a smaller school so you can get some playing time. Now, the funny part about it, what people don't know, a kid, they don't have to leave, but once they talk to them about playing time and it's better for you and we looking out for you, once that kid jump in that portal, that other transfer come in to fill that position. So it's pretty much happening now.
Yeah. So do you think it will be a time where we see basically you have 4 to 5 years? Do you think would they just automatically say, man, let's just add the extra year, 6 year for players for college football? You think it'll be a time where we see that outside of the COVID?
I was just about to say that. I was about to say it's
outside of the COVID era. I'm thinking if they trying to keep a leg in front of it, they would just add that 6 year. Because it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Kids are transferring a lot. Like you see kids transferring from multiple schools within a year. And that's I just feel like it's gonna have to be like something set in stone because it's gonna get a lot worse.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse before it get better. I can tell you that because we see it now. It's getting worse now. Look at the kid Addison. He hasn't signed yet, so now they saying it looked like Texas is the team. He's going to. I just want to know what's the backdoor deal.
Oh yeah, the Addison thing. I think he want, everybody know that's a one and done with him. Basically looking for the best scenario, situation for him to be the number one guy and get the money. And everybody know Texas have unlimited money to play with, so it's not like we didn't know Texas was probably going to end up being the landing spot for him. I actually thought it would have been USC, but once Texas got in the picture, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much gonna be Texas, because they got that they got a quarterback where they basically gonna probably give him the franchise tag. I forget what's his name, the quarterback guy. He's the one who went to Ohio State and left.
Quentin Ewers or something like that. Quentin Ewers.
Yeah, so they basically like franchise that quarterback. He's supposed to be the next it guy in college football. So I can see myself, if I was the top receiver, going to play with him, because if he's the it quarterback right now, let me go be the it receiver for him. But yeah, that the 25 scholarship limit just got announced today. I pretty much been talking about that for weeks and months, that it wasn't going to be a limit because of the turnover factor of the transfer portal. So it's good for the major schools. The little schools, man, we just gotta accept the fact that they just ain't got it right now.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. But the one thing the little schools can do is get the leftovers, and some of the leftovers aren't bad.
No, exactly. All you got to do is coach them up. Shit.
Plain and simple.
But then they coach them up for a couple of years, and next thing you know, they're getting in the transfer portal and moving on to bigger and better. But I think with the in the scholarships going over 25, I'm saying that's going to work in Mario's favor. That gives Mario more room to work with.
Yeah. He gives him more room to work. You can just look at the class that he just brought in. It was only 14 high school kids and 11 transfer portal kids, which adds up to 25. So 25. He could have literally brought in 25 high school kids with the addition to 11 if he wanted to choose. You know what I'm saying? It still could have had a turnover with some of the players still leaving. But yeah, I definitely could see Mario basically benefiting off this big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, man. Kyle, what's good, Kyle? I ain't even see you come in.
I know, bro. I was working and shit, man. What's good, bro? We missed you last week.
Yeah, man. I had to take me a little break, man. I was, going through some things, man. But I'm back in action.
I feel you. Hope everything good with you, shit.
Yeah,
what we on
good.
tonight? Yeah, good,
everything
bro.
Good, man. Just trying to get a hold to everything that's going on around college football. I'm going to talk some recruiting. I'm waiting for Gaby to come in. Me and Gaby going to talk the 23 UM recruiting class. Basically, what we see so far, we will get. But like I'm gonna tell everybody now, everything is not official because Mario wants a lot of the players to visit during the football season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, let's commit now, why commit now when you still got a season where you can take them visits? So, Mario has a plan, man. Once Mario gets him on campus, then you can get the idea of, that kid gonna come or not. So.
Hey, look, you and Gaby better have me some good news on Hakeem. That's all I need to hear, bro.
Hakeem Williams, everybody keep asking what's going on with the homie Hakeem.
That's my number one, bro.
Hakeem, your number one?
Yeah, and for me, yeah. Every receiver.
Hey, no, I'm going with Ray.
Ray, I mean, okay, yeah, Ray will be my number one. If Brandon does decide to just not come to UM, Ray Ray is number one.
I like Ennis and Uno Robbie.
Yeah, I mean Enos is number one, period. But if that train that we see, he's not going to come, then yeah, Ray Ray is number one. I tweeted yesterday about what I see them doing, and basically this class, I think UM is going to go attack speed.
Shit, Robbie is explosive from Killian.
Yeah,
that kid explosive, bro.
Yeah, so you got Robbie already a speed demon.
Yeah.
You still got Jaylen Brown and Ray Ray out there. So if you add those two, you got a receiving core that's fast. You got like a 4-4-4-3 receiving core.
You got to get back in there too. Gene.
Andy Jean.
Man, we got to get Gene back in.
I want Andy to come back, man. I want Andy to come back. Cause now if you add Andy, you got a 4x4 track team right there.
Ain't no bullshit.
X, what was the dude? What was the dude name you named last time? X, when he was it Zay or something? What was his name?
Oh, you talking about William Fowles?
Yeah, Fowles.
Yeah, William Fowles. William Fowles is my guy ahead of Hakeem. William Fowles, for those who don't know, William Fowles is that Dade Christian. He plays receiver out there. Boys, like he's just a big grown man out there. I think yesterday somebody described him as Dwayne Bowe. And I say, dang, that's a good one, because he's that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no 4-4-4-3 speed. But what he gonna do is catch the ball and he gonna push you off him and keep running. You know what I'm saying? So
gonna use that body.
What's his size, X?
He's 6'2.5", probably almost he could grow up to be 6'3". He might be 200, 205 right now.
X, hey, you know what, X? I'm gonna be real, and I know a lot of people hate to hear this, but Jaylen Brown is not even in my top 5 receivers, bro. He's fast.
Oh man, yeah, Hurricane fans don't want to hear you say that,
bro. He is fast, and that is it, bro. I've been watching the kid for 2 years.
Oh yeah,
Hurricane
made Luke come in here.
Don't want to hear you say anything about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is in my top 5. You just can't. You can't teach or coach that type of speed. When they fast like that, it's like you just go.
Listen, you exactly right. But as a receiver, he definitely not in my top 5.
I mean, and to be honest, he's a better defensive back.
Exactly.
That's what I keep hearing. I ain't really checked him out, but I keep hearing that. Streeter said that too.
Yeah, no, he's a good defensive back. You know what I'm saying? So it's an option, but we know he likes to play receiver, and he's fast. If you got a guy that can go out there and run a 4-2, 4-3, it's pretty much you're not going to not take him. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got five Brandon Andersons in front of him, you're not going to take him.
Listen, man, Jaylen could fuck around and go to the Olympics in a couple of years. That kid is fast.
He can.
Yeah,
he has that type of speed, man. So. What's up, man? We got the homie Gaby in here, man. What's going on, Gaby?
What up, guys? What up, X?
What's good, Gaby, man? Gaby, man, this 23 class, man, it's
Gaby. That's it.
I'm not gonna say it's getting confusing, but it's getting very interesting because a lot of pieces early on looking like they're looking elsewhere, but are still in play with UM. Like, we can start it off with the quarterback, Jaden Rashada.
Right.
I mean, to me personally, I still have UM favored in the end if he commits during the season. Now, if he commits like summertime, then yeah, we out of it. But I still kind of think we favored on that side with him.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's planning to commit sometime here in June. I think he dropped the other day. So. Yeah, he dropped. I know he dropped that top 7 that he released the other day. I think it's like Miami, Florida, Texas A&M. There's like Oregon, Cal. I think is in there. I don't know if BYU's in it. They might be. LSU's in there. So, and then he said he's going to commit on June 18th. So that's right around the corner, man. I'm not sure Miami's feeling too confident right now.
Oh, okay, well, yeah. See, I didn't know it was gonna be June. I thought it was still gonna be like during the season. But if it's June, then yeah.
That's what I was saying on the Morning Breath show today. I don't know.
We talked about that.
That ship may be selling.
Does it seem like are we losing momentum right now with recruits? Not saying that like it's a bad thing or like we did anything wrong, but it just seemed like when it's all first started, everybody was like, "Oh, Miami." Now it just seems to be kind of dwindling down. Guys looking elsewhere or whatever.
No, it's not. It's not losing momentum. What you have is okay. So what Mario and the staff is doing is they're not pressing or forcing kids to commit. A lot of kids like to play the commit early game, and then they still looking around, and then you have them flipping and stuff. You know, Mario tell them like, man, don't commit until you really, really, really want to commit. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Wait to see how the season go. Come for the official visits, and then you can commit. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the past, we probably had 18 commits already, and then by the time signing day come, 15 of them decommitted. You know, so it's like we're not going in that direction no more. We like, man, this for real. Like, don't play with us no more. We here.
I think that whole Northwestern squad did that to us, didn't it? Melo and all them boys.
Oh well, yeah, they had to do that, man. We lost
understood though.
We lost the FIU. We lost the FIU. I would have decommitted. After the game.
No bullshit. Hey,
yeah. So,
hey, what you think about the quarterback? Emory Williams.
Emory Williams. I did a little research on him. I'm seeing his film. You know, decent quarterback. Not eye popping where you say, yeah, he's our one.
Yeah.
6'4", 6'4", I think, 6'4", something like that. He has a nice arm though. I could give him that. He has a nice arm. He has a baseball background and he plays basketball, so he's athletic enough. You know, if that's our plan B, because we miss out on anybody else, then I would say okay. But I think it's another quarterback they're starting to look at. What's the guy named Gaby? Is Avery Johnson or something? No. It's
Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson is his name.
It's so funny because when I heard the name, I was like, I know they ain't talking about the basketball coach.
Right. Yeah. He has the same name. Yeah. No, I think that's an important domino that's could potentially fall here. I know Frank Ponce was in Kansas today watching him throw. I guess they're probably like an hour or so behind us. I'm not really sure where Kansas falls in the time zones. But I know Frank Ponce is over there. I think it'll be interesting here within the next, maybe I'm assuming the next hour, 2 hours, if Avery Johnson pops up on Twitter with that offered notice that Miami pulled the trigger. And I think if he did, I think it would definitely make things interesting. Just I mean, you guys were just talking about Emory Williams, and he could potentially commit as soon as this weekend, and I know Miami still wants to see him throw one more time. They went to go see him last week. But that got canceled due to weather. So they had to do a whole NCAA waiver thing because they had already technically seen him twice in the spring to be able to go see him a third time, because the second time they couldn't really evaluate him. I know they got that waiver approved, so they're gonna go see him at some point. But I think them going and checking out Avery Johnson now is pretty notable. And I'm kind of a fan. He has a really good athletic profile, and I know he impressed a lot of people. And even our national analyst, Cooper Patagna, who was there at the Nashville Regional, I think he kind of impressed really everyone that was there, just with his accuracy, his ability to throw the ball. I think it's probably the biggest question, because he's a kind of a freak athlete, 4.5 40 type guy, 4.2 short shuttle, with 20 led his ball team to a 23-2 record, won a state championship. So, I mean, this guy has a really impressive athletic profile. And, if he can, continue to develop as a passer, I think he's more a higher upside guy than maybe an Emory Williams is athletically. But I think at this stage of their development, Emory Williams might be the more, true pocket passer. So it's kind of like a preference thing towards, how you sort of feel about those guys. But I mean, I would kind of bank on the athleticism. I think that's something that probably entices me a little bit more in terms of my flavor for a quarterback. So, however that develops, I think is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I seen some film on him. He definitely athletic, fast. I'm trying to see if he fits the moniker of Gaddis offense, where Gaddis seems to like a not saying a pocket passer, but he likes a quarterback who can stretch the ball down the field. I don't know if Avery Johnson is that, but again, a quarterback running the 4.5, and if he could just throw decent enough, you do not look at that. You're like, hey, okay, we could work something out with it. But as of now, those are the two names. I guess we could go ahead and put them in front of Jaden or Charlotte now. Avery Johnson and then Williams. I don't know if it's another quarterback. Pretty much it might be another quarterback coming on during the season. But those are the two names we know as of now. Now, my question with you, Gaby, is would you see a scenario where we take two quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, I just think, I don't know how many of you guys saw like the NCAA legislation that was passed today.
Where for on that.
That's great. I mean, just like for the next 2 years, you basically can bring in as many guys as you want. Mario Cristobal's first class at a new place, really hasn't recruited his own quarterback. And I think Jakari Brown is awesome. And I think he definitely had a hand in keeping him in the class because, there was definitely some other programs, trying to take him away. But, again, when you have the flexibility to maybe bring in a few more guys and, I'm not really sure what the scholarship situation will look like next class. But, I don't think it would be crazy to see two quarterbacks, especially if you can't get one of these like top elite guys. Like if you can't get a Jaden Rashada, like is going Avery Johnson, Emory Williams, a possible scenario. I mean, maybe not. I don't know if, that's something that, again, I that's nothing I've been told, but, again, just kind of pulling the lens back a little bit, I guess I could see a situation where, Miami tries to take two guys.
Does it bother y'all if we don't get let's say who it is that we're looking for, like let's say Rashad or whatever. If we don't get him or his quality and we bring in two projects, does it really bother y'all? Because it's like we're gonna have quarterbacks for the next 3 to 4 possible years. So I wouldn't mind just if we have to just get we just got two project guys or whatever, and then we try to get another big name, next year or whatever. Would that really bother you guys?
No, it won't bother. It won't. I mean, I don't think it'll bother the program either. Because as you say, you still got TVD this year. And yeah, let's just say TVD leaves after this year. You still got Jake for a year or two, and then you still got Jakari for a year or two. So any quarterback that comes in this class, unless their name is what's Manny's son name? I mean, what's Manny's nephew's son name? Unless it's him, I don't think no quarterback going to get guaranteed playing time coming in unless they just that good. So yeah, it don't bother me as much. It does look good to recruit a quarterback so you could get other players on offense though.
Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't really bother me either. Just because, I mean, again, I don't think it would really, again, and just like kind of following up on you, X, like, I don't think it would disrupt anything either, right? Because I think you still feel really comfortable about the quarterback situation. I mean, you got Jake Garcia. Again, I mean, this time last year, there were people in the program thinking Jake Garcia was probably the better, fit for them than Tyler Van Dyke. And, if Jake Garcia doesn't hurt his ankle, I mean, who knows how, last year plays out, because I think Jake Garcia would have gotten, much more of a shake. I think that competition could have potentially lasted longer, and who really knows what happened. So I think there's a lot of people, that still feel good about Jake. And then again, Jakari, man, I think he's a guy you're projecting, 2 years down the line with him. I mean, he fully understands that, he is a work in progress. Like, he is not rushing to get on the field. He's not expecting to, walk into anything next year. I don't even think he's expecting to win the job next year. He understands that he's a, 2, potentially 3-year type of guy. And I think when he puts it all together, he has a crazy high ceiling, in my opinion, just like his size and his ability, what he's able to do with the ball in his hands, just in terms of making plays and what he can do on the ground. And if he can develop as a passer, I mean, that's been a recipe for success in college football. Again, not to drop any crazy comparisons, but like, we obviously saw what Cam Newton did. I mean, that's maybe just like him absolutely touching every inch of his potential. I think more realistic, which was a great player comp from Andrew Ivins, is Hendon Hooker. And, we saw what he did at last year at Tennessee. And I thought he was one of the better. He was definitely one of the better quarterbacks in college football, and I more than held his own in the SEC after coming from Virginia Tech. And yeah, he was like that was like his 4th year in college football. So, I think Jakari potentially is a better prospect than Hooker was coming out. So if you can accelerate that by maybe a year, I mean, I think you have to be really excited about that. So if you bring in a couple guys like Avery Johnson or Emory Williams, or, guys that are maybe quote unquote projects, I think you're still feeling pretty confident about what's in that room over the course of the next, 3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm you dead on with the Ja'Cory Brown, man. Street will tell you, like, once he got here, all we kept hearing was don't act like Jake Garcia just gonna get the starting job for next year, because it ain't gonna be. They just not gonna give it to him because they say, man, they was really high on Ja'Cory Brown. So again, he looked at a whole lot better during the end of spring. He started making the throws that quarterback's supposed to make. We know how athletic he is. So again, like I say, you got Jake Garcia, you got Ja'Cory Brown. It's not a big deal to not get the top quarterbacks that you need in this class for 23, because you still have quarterbacks already on the roster that can get the job done. And they feel very confident about both Jake and Ja'Cory. So I think we good with quarterback situation. I don't. Like I say, if Jaden comes, then that makes it even better for more competition. But we know if outside of that, everything else will be project waiting, sitting there waiting. So, who's there? We got Kane Swag. What's up? You got a question?
Yeah, I did. I'm not sure I 100% agree with the quarterback situation. Us recruiting the Emory. Is it Emory? I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah,
Emory Williams.
Yeah, because I just think in this situation, like, elite needs to keep eliting. Like, the only way we're gonna rise to one of our biggest problems that we've had for the last almost 10 years is recruiting, and you always want to recruit better than your roster. And so while I understand that this dude is a project and he may have some upside, I've seen that so many times over and over and over again. We come in, we get a guy, and I may be goldenized and Manny-ized and
I think you
whoever else.
I'm gonna ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait, is that Sean?
TVD?
Yeah.
Was
what's
TVD?
up, Sean?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, they're still around.
Was
Okay.
TVD a project, or was he elite? Because everybody really didn't. Nobody know about TVD.
Yeah, but he was still a 4-star coming out of Connecticut.
I mean, okay, so let's eliminate the star. Did we think he was elite? Did we think everybody last year thought Jake Garcia was going to start over TVD?
Yeah.
What about
So
Ken
did
Dorsey?
we actually
Nobody
think
thought
TVD could get on the field and do what he did? Like, is it? I don't know. So I'm trying to understand, like, where you coming at when you saying, oh, you got to recruit the elite of the elites.
I just think you want to recruit.
Play football. He can play football. You just got to get him in the right system and the right players around him.
Yeah, I get that, but like, the quarterback, one of the biggest things on your roster, and I think that's something that we had a struggle with before we had TVD, and then when we had my man Kaya, was the quarterback position. And that's the thing. And then you got to also understand, elite players want to play with elite players. Yeah. And so no matter how you spin it, when you get this commitment from this three, and I'm not trying to knock the dude, I've been looking at this film over and over and over again. I see the upside. I see what everybody's saying. But my problem is if you can get a Rashada or a Moore, Dante Moore, and I understand they trying to negotiate their NIL deals, but if you can get them, that sends a message and a surgence to everybody, to the nation, and we are recruiting nationwide. Like, I'm looking at it every day. Like, it's kids are flying in to see what's going on with Miami because there's so much buzz, and you got to hit them in the mouth and be like, look, we ain't playing. We got an elite quarterback. We on the verge of we could end up getting an elite running back, if not two. Because they just started picking up the recruitment with my man who just committed, I think, to Notre Dame. You're trying to flip Joseph, and you just want to just keep sending a message that this is a real thing. Like, I don't think we can mess around with this.
But what if we can't? But what if we can't get him, Sean? Do you feel like we should overtax ourselves on trying to get Rashada? Like, we should do everything, pay him $5 million, whatever. Like, what if we can't get him?
Ken Dorsey wasn't a 5-star or a 4-star.
Okay, so now listen, I'm finna go ahead and just give you the reason why it's not a big deal. Right now you have this thing called the transfer portal. A lot of schools are starting to rely on the transfer portal. So is it that much of a big deal to get that recruit in that class and then he don't come and play and then he transfers? Now what?
So I heard that argument today on King Sport, and I was like, I hear that, and I know the transfer portal is a real thing, but I just always believe that the cream is going to rise to their top, and so
it's kids going to Bama, Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State, Georgia, Clemson, these top programs that's transferring, and you telling me the cream will rise to the top? They transferring. I mean, it's just a here. So getting a certain player, then you can always double recruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can always double recruit them. Like, look, we didn't land Tyreek Stevenson the first time, but then he comes back. We didn't land Fred Latson the first time, but he comes back. We didn't land Henry Parrish, but he comes back. So you always double recruit them. Yeah, you recruit them. You don't get them, but you still recruited them and have that relationship. Say, hey, you know you can come back home or come back where you belong, stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal. I'm not gonna say it hurts or it helps, but then this Mario staff, man. So I kind of trust them.
I do hear that. I do trust their evaluation.
I trust them I trust them a lot more to evaluate to get the players that we need to get going in the right direction.
But he did inherit at Oregon. He did inherit that quarterback there, and then right after that, he didn't have the same.
Well, I mean, he came to Miami. He just inherited TVD and Jake and Jakari. So he's in a good situation right now. I mean, and this is Miami, so we could always get us a quarterback. We recruit him. So we gonna switch over to running back position, man. Running back position. It's
Chris wanted to say something.
Go ahead, sweetie.
I think Chris wanted to say something.
No.
My bad. I didn't even see. What's up, Chris?
What's up? What's going on, X? What's going on, sweetie?
What's up, bro?
No, I just wanted to say that Dorsey wasn't a highly recruited quarterback. He wasn't a 5-star or a 4-star when he came. He was surrounded by good players, and he was able to get developed the right way around the good players. So why can't Emory be the same type of situation?
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, nobody expects him to come in and play right away.
You got to call cap on that though, because those days are over. Like that stuff, we gotta. They're continuing to redefine and refine that star system. They are, man.
I don't think I agree with that. We had that. That's the one Martin Rube kept saying. We talked about on the show, and I kept saying you don't have to have that 5-star quarterback each and every time. Georgia just proved that again, so it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, they built an elite defense too. That's what helped them out.
Okay, but
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about if you recruit at a high level at every other position, defense, running back, cornerback, whatever you want to call it, and you surround the quarterback with those type of players, and you can develop him. He doesn't have to be one of those guys that you're saying a 5-star. You're trusting your coaching. You're trusting that you'll be able to develop him, and you're trusting and you're factoring your recruiting in every other position that you're getting as well. Correct?
Yeah.
I agree with that to a point, but so Alabama tried that formula and it worked for him for a while. And then what did Saban do? He adjusted. Now that boy got the number one. That boy firing that thing over in Bama.
Yeah, but didn't Mac win one? And Mac was Mac Jones that high level of a quarterback?
No,
Matt wasn't. He wasn't rated like topping like that.
Right. That's what I mean. So it's still going on. It's still very much doable because it's college.
It's our Twitter space from last night.
You have to recruit well, coach well, and just get a guy that can do what you need him to do for your system.
IOD Squad.
So that's not saying we have to get a guy that's pedestrian, but it's okay to miss out on a 5-star and get a 3-star and develop him.
Yeah, I get where he's coming from, and he's right. He's right in the sense where if you're going to recruit with the big programs and be an elite program, you got to start getting elite kids. I understand that. I mean, that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? But again, for us, this cycle, I don't think quarterback is as important as the other positions. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna
correct. But what I'm trying to say is if you're recruiting at a high level at every other position, you really, a 5-star quarterback. You don't really need that right now. I mean, it will be great to get it, but if you could get, like an Emery and you believe in the coaches and you believe that he could go ahead and develop him, he has 2-3 years to get developed into that system. And you're trusting your recruiting and all the other positions to pick up and to improve there, correct? So that's going to make him better just as well.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Speeder.
A few things, man. Few things. I'm a buddy here, real fast. We sat down with Darren Smith, Kane linebacker, man. Everybody in here, the link is at the top, man. Y'all go check out that interview. We interviewed Darren Smith. He won 2 national championships, 2 Super Bowls. And it sounded like he felt like he wasn't supposed to be there in none of them. Interesting interview. With Darren Smith. And IOD Squad, man, we do IOD Squad Investor Die. That's at the top too, man. Where we talk about NFTs, stock, cryptos. We let people watch us trade. Y'all can join that. That's also at the top. Gaby, you in here? I got a question for you, Gaby.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm here.
Gaby, okay, so you guys won one of the bigger recruiting sites, probably sites. When it comes to the transfer portal and recruiting high school kids, inside 247 Sports, do you guys ever feel that the transfer portal is going to eventually overtake high school recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's any for me, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends how you view it. And I think every program views it differently. And that's why it's so hard to, I think now with this legislation to, again, expand the classes, I think that's one of the NCAA steps, ways of helping some of those, helping the high school recruiting that's kind of being maybe a little bit diminished because of the transfer portal. And, so yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's been an impact, for high school kids, but, I don't know if you're a Power 5 type of kid, if you're not going to be a Power 5 kid anymore because of the transfer portal. I think if you're really good, you're still going to go to a good program. But I do think I do think some of those maybe middle of the pack guys is where it really starts to impact. But, I think now with schools, there's a lot of schools that are under the 85 that have struggled to get up to the 85 because of, all of the 25-man counter. And I think with the NCAA opening it back up, I think that sort of opens the doors for schools to, maybe roll the dice on some more high school kids. It doesn't have to be so hyper-focused on we need to get a veteran right now because we need to win right now. It's like, okay, maybe we can go into the transfer portal and take that kid, but we can also take a high school kid that we think has a chance because it's not going to impact our, we're not worried about, we're not nitpicking on numbers. So I think every situation is different. But yeah, I mean, with the way the transfer portal sort of come around and emerged, I mean, it's hard to ignore the fallback of that.
Right. I know. I didn't even think of it like that. Now you can take them all. Listen, now we can't stay South Florida. We can only get 25. We can't get them all. Now we can get them all.
Now you can take them all. Remember, I told you earlier. I said,
you got to stay under the 85. So it does
now.
depend. It depends because you still got to stick to that 85-man cap and all that stuff. But so as long as you stay under that, you can take them. I think the example everyone's using for this situation is Kansas. Apparently Kansas was under 85 for a whole decade, and they just couldn't get back to 85 or close to 85. I think this helps schools like that have just been stuck because you can only bring in 25 guys. I think it helps some of those schools kind of, come back with that. And I think that'll benefit high school kids, with some of these schools that have to, or that are able to just take these bigger classes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 30-man class. I think if you're a college football team that maybe, you just want to even weed out some upperclassmen, some guys that have been around the program for a while, you can go in and take 32, 35 high school kids. And, you got to tell some of your older guys that maybe you feel like haven't developed or, just aren't, moving the way of your direction to be like, hey, you guys got to find somewhere else to go. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that I think this the removal of this 25-man cap impacts things. And I think high school kids, will start to, benefit from it. I would imagine, but I mean, who knows? People could just start taking 20 transfers. I mean, I could definitely see that happening too.
Yeah.
Hey, so X ain't got to have a number one no more. We can take 7 receivers. We can take all of them now. Ain't got to have no number one.
I just told Speeder earlier today, instead of taking 25, now you could go take 35. Take 35 players and get the rest of the players who you don't want on your team out. That's basically, especially what Gaby was saying. So For all y'all who said, "Oh, only look, could take 8 receivers now if they want to." So
Taking
if
all
the
of them.
receivers in South Florida, take them. I know that'll make all y'all happy, man. But yeah, we're gonna switch it over to running back position. This running back position is I mean, it's a clear cut. It's 2 players we really, really want. And have a chance with one, Mark Fletcher. He ended up committing to Ohio State. And after talking with a couple of people around his camp, he loves it. He loved the fact of how they treated him and how they went and took him into the running back room and showed how they would exactly use him. So I get it, why he committed to them. They made him feel wanted. They made him feel like he was the guy. Is that going to stop you from recruiting him? No. You're definitely going to keep recruiting him. The other running back is Cedric Baxter. I know they feel real good about him. I don't know a timetable with his commitment, but I still feel very good about that situation with Cedric. We could see 2 running backs took in this class, which I expect actually to see 2 running backs took. How you feel about that, Gaby?
Yeah, I mean, I think those are definitely probably the top 2 guys. Cedric Baxter, an elite, just an elite type of talent. I mean, you ask, I mean, anyone I talk to, and I know people that are on the site or whatever. I talk about Cedric Baxter as like my favorite recruit in the class. I think he's a 3-down type of guy. I think he's a workhorse. I think he's the best pass catching running back in the class. I mean, I think he fits today's game so well. I think he's one of these guys that he's going to just be such a huge addition to wherever he decides to play college football. I'm driving up to Orlando in the morning to watch his spring game against Osceola.
Okay.
So I mean, hopefully I'll have a for those that follow me, I mean, I'll have an update on him, probably sometime tomorrow night or early Friday morning. But yeah, mine is definitely in there. He's definitely the guy that they want, but they're definitely pushing for Mark Fletcher. And I think that sort of pursuit has turned up here recently, even after his commitment to Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, I actually was like, if I had a crystal ball, I was going to say Mark Fletcher was going to UM because he loved it. His family loved it. And what took place with him in Ohio State was just, they overwhelmed him. Like he came in and they showed him everything that a player who you could recruit wants, and it was just a no-brainer for him to commit. I know people ask me, is it going to stay like that? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it'll be hard for him not to stay committed to Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Because Ohio State does throw the ball a lot, but they do feature a running back who always gets over 1,000 yards. So those 2 running backs with him and Cedric Baxter, I mean, to be truthful, I would love to have them both. Just, you know what I'm saying, being greedy. I would love to have them both. Who knows the situation, how our running back room, because our running back room is still kind of crowded a little bit. Everybody's still underclassmen. So we'll see how that goes with the number of recruits they take for the running back class. But yeah, those 2 names are basically the ones that UM is out in front of trying to get a commitment from both of those guys. We switch it over to the receiver part. I know this is what y'all been waiting for, the receivers, man. Oh my gosh. Gaby, I don't know about you, but I get questioned about the receivers every day, at least like 10 times a day.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a popular question. I mean, I thought we hyped up this 2023 receiver class for a while now. So, I guess that's the result of that.
We hyped it up so good that the other day I hyped up the 24 class even more, and now people saying, "Well, hold on, X, you telling us we got 2 receiving classes back to back we could get?" I said,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, we really got 2 classes, and then when I seen how Gaddis go attacking the receiving class, I'm like, he wants speed. He wants to get that speed right now, and that's why they turned it up with Ray. That's why they got Robbie Washington. They want Jalen Brown. They want guys who could run. we got possession guys. You know, you got to get them guys who can change the field fast with one play. So the 4 to 5 guys I got obviously Jaylen Brown, Robbie Washington. I said weeks ago that Ray Nathaniel Joseph was going to flip. I already said that. That's in the works. Hakeem Williams and William Fowles were the other two. I was still trying to figure out which one we would get. Hakeem Williams thing, I'm not feeling too confident about anymore. But hey, who knows? You know what I'm saying? They could probably still get him. So
yeah, I think you gotta throw Andy Jean in there. I mean, just kind of talking to people, you know, just even this past weekend. I mean, Andy Jean is a guy for them. You know, like that's someone that they really, really want back in this class. You know, they did not want to lose it in the class. You know, after he had committed to them, really committed to Brian McClendon and all that stuff. Decided to open things back up. But yeah, I mean, I think those guys that you mentioned, probably the only replacement I would make would be Andy Jean in place William Fowles.
Andy Jean would play. Okay, yeah, so William Fowles. I mean, and I don't know the situation why we're not recruiting William Fowles. I was just William Fowles, the way he plays the game as a big receiver. Haven't had a receiver that plays the game like that in a long time. So, but I would look if we land Andy Jean, Nathaniel Joseph, Jaylen Brown, and Robbie Washington, you have a 4x4 track team on your football team. So I'm happy. Like I'm happy. That's a squad that you can just be happy about. Because each player get that ball in their hand and they go all the way. So those about the 4. And then maybe if they did what to say, let's take a 5th. You know, that's where you can see things get a lot tricky with the other receivers you have on board.
Yeah, I mean, I think a potential 5th. I mean, obviously, I mean, we gotta kind of remember that Lamar Seymour is still committed and still in this class, and I don't think he's someone that they just intend on, you know, dropping or anything like that. So I think you always have to sort of factoring him in. You have to also kind of have to factor him in terms of like, you know, if you're kind of expanding it, let's say they do decide to go to 5, like does Lamar Seymour stick around? Like, I don't know. I think he's had a pretty good offseason. You know, I think he's been, you know, pretty impressive, you know, throughout the 7-on-7 circuit. I mean, he had a real good offseason. Yeah, I think he had a you know, big junior season. You know, I'm sure they'll want to see how he just continues to, you know, progress, you know, in the spring, like obviously throughout the spring that really just passed, and, you know, into the summer. And I'm sure they'll have him camp at Miami over the summer and, you know, seeing how he sort of does over his senior. But he's someone that, you know, I'm not totally ruling out of this. You know, so I mean, I think Lamar Seymour, again, if they're going, let's say they go 5, which is it's a really big number, but you know, let's say they just decide to go ahead and do it. I mean, that's a situation that, you know, I could definitely see. But I mean, I think if you had a, you know, like a hidden camera inside, you know, Josh Gaddis's meeting room or on his recruiting board or anything like that, I mean, I would bet that Jaylen Brown, Robbie Washington, Nathaniel Joseph, and Andy Jean is like, at this point, in terms of like most realistic and most attainable, I would bet that those are probably the 4 that, you know, if they can get those 4, like all those guys in the building are going to be sleeping soundly at night, because you know, I think that would be an incredible haul. You know, even considering the fact that you miss maybe on a Brandon Innes or a Hakeem Williams, like I think that's a really strong group. And again, I think that they see Andy Jean as, you know, one of these premier guys too.
Hey, Gabby, because I was saying this to X before. Did the Hakeem is my guy. Did the interest for Hakeem from UM, did that ever lessen? Because at one point in time that was kind of floating around there. Did the interest ever kind of just like dissipate a little bit?
I don't think so. I mean, I went over there like probably one of the first days of, you know, Stranahan's spring practice to sort of, you know, figure out, because I mean, that was stuff floating around our board too. I mean, just talking to people at UM, I never got anything that would suggest that, you know, they were not interested in Hakeem Williams. I think, you know, he's someone that they're extremely interested in, you know, but you know, I think interest has to be reciprocated too. And, you know, just going over there, you know, I think that, you know, it seems like, you know, Miami's doing all the right things. He told me he gets text messages from Mario Cristobal every single morning, from every single staff member, offensive and defensive staffers, all that stuff. But again, it's a two-way street, man. And, you know, I think that, Hakeem is probably trending elsewhere. And I think when Miami sort of senses that, I think, these guys have been doing it a long time. These guys have, Mario Cristobal's put it together a few, top 10 recruiting classes, has recruited his fair share of highly touted recruits. I think he can get a sense for maybe when people maybe aren't feeling it or whatever it is. And I know that they're going to continue to try. I don't think that they're waving the white flag or anything like that. But I do think that they have to sort of figure out who's sort of in and who's sort of realistic at this point and who's actually, again, reciprocating the interest that, they sort of see. I know Miami tried to set up a few visits. Hakeem, I know, canceled one of them to go up to Alabama, which is totally fair. He's been to Miami a million times. But I know that they really did try to get him on campus, over the course of, spring practice and all that stuff. It never happened. And, I mean, I think I just that's sort of my take on the Hakeem Williams situation.
I got you. I appreciate that, Gavin.
I mean, and he'll trust me. When we had him on the show, man, Hakeem said, man, I be at all of you home games. I'm there every game. So I can guarantee he'll be at games this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. I didn't lose all hope. You know what I'm saying? I just see that things aren't looking as promising as I thought before. And we'll see how things go with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we take 5 receivers, that'll be, let's load up. You know what I'm saying? And we see how things go. But the tight end position.
Real quick, X. I also think like this can change during the season, right? Like depending on how Miami does. I mean, I think some of these guys might just want to see it.
I agree.
I think that's something else that Miami's sort of battling too, like this perception that they're still the same Miami that they've sort of been. And, in a lot of ways they are, because that's who they've been. I mean, you are who your record says you are. But, I think Mario Cristobal and these guys are still sort of battling that, some like maybe they're viewed as like, oh, I have Miami, but I want something bigger. And I think what Miami's really trying to do is say, no, we're Miami. Like we are as big as it gets, and I think that's something that they have to work towards. Again, I think it's something that like Mario Cristobal said, that's not something you put on a t-shirt, that's something you got to go out there and do. That's something that they have to earn, for them to have that sort of, reputation or expectation from even some of these top local guys. Like, oh, I got the Miami offer, I'm good. Like some of these kids in Texas, like, oh, I got the A&M offer, I'm good. Or now these Cali kids, oh, I got the USC offer, I'm good. Like, I think Miami's still fighting to get back to that spot. And I think it'll come, obviously if they have a big season, which is why I'm super excited about what they did in this transfer portal. Cause I think these are all, maybe a few 6-month band-aids with some of these guys potentially going pro after this or whatever it may be. That'll, could potentially push them into that, 10-win mark and get into the ACC championship game. And I think if that happens, I think we're having very different conversations in maybe, late November, December, and, closer to that early signing period.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. If the season turns out to be good, promising for us, then we definitely going to have a good recruiting class. And then at the end of the day, Mario went and got a top 15 recruiting class within a couple, maybe a month. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is to get them here when it really counts. You know what I'm saying? If kids commit now, they can always decommit and flip. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the NIL stuff going on. So I don't even take it that serious no more when they do commit. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're still talking to other schools, guess what? It could happen. And that's just a part of the game right now. So we will move to the tight end position. The tight end position, man, I have, let me see, the guy I have is Riley Williams. He's from Oregon, I think, or Oregon, Washington, one of them. I think Oregon or Washington area. He's about 6'5", good pass catcher. I think we have a chance with him, especially I think he comes down on a visit. I think we get the last visit or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the order. Yeah, I'm not sure about the order, but yeah, Riley Williams is definitely probably. I mean, I would probably put him as like the top guy in terms of like what they want to do at tight end for sure.
Okay, so Gabby, I wanted to ask you this. Okay, so they're recruiting what is it? Jason Haxu, something like that. That's how you pronounce his name.
I'm sorry. What is it?
Is it Jason? Hold on, I wrote it down.
Are you talking about Jackson Howard?
Okay, Jackson Howard.
Yeah.
Okay, he plays both tight end and defensive end.
Yeah.
Are we recruiting him for defensive end though, right?
Yeah, I think earlier there was still kind of like questions like, is he gonna, Is he sort of developing into a tight end? Is he going to play, D end? I mean, his dad was an NFL defensive lineman. So, I definitely think that, that was a question early on. I think it sounds like it's going to be defensive line. I think, just talking to him after the spring game, I think that that's where things are trending. Him and Joe Salave's, his dad and Joe Salave's dad are real close. Miami gets his last official visit. I think that's I don't know, man. Coming off that spring game, I got really close to that crystal ball. I wanted to hold off because he went to LSU the next weekend. But I kind of like where Miami stands with Jackson Howard right now.
Okay, yeah. That's another kid I've heard. They feel very high on him. And I seen that. Yeah, we get his last visit. So if we get his last visit, I feel very confident that most likely will be a Cane at the end of the day. But Riley Williams at tight end, good pass catcher. The tight end position to me, it's not big because University of Miami just somehow finds a way to create tight ends, no matter if they're the number 1 tight end in the nation or the number 50 tight end in the nation. They just find a way to create it. So Riley Williams, he's a top tight end. We could get him. I don't know if we after any other tight end in this class. I would love for us to go after Adam Moore, but I don't know how much they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure. I see that happening. A couple other names I'll throw out there for you. Reed Meitzka, he's a kid from Bridgeland, Texas. I think he just decommitted from Texas. He'll be at Miami this coming weekend. He was actually supposed to be at Miami the weekend after he ended up committing to Clemson, but he backed off of that. So I think Reed Meitzka is definitely a guy in play for Miami. Jackson Carver, who's up in Indiana, he's like a former lacrosse player. I mean, just big, really just like a big kid. So I got to talk to him, right after his visit at Miami, and got to actually just size him up. I think he's a pretty intriguing looking tight end too. Again, super raw. I think still sort of transitioning from being mostly a lacrosse type of guy. So I think Jackson Carver is definitely a name there. Who else we got here? Jelani Thurman out of Georgia. I'm not sure.
Jelani
Miami
Thurman,
has.
I heard about him.
Yeah, I don't know if Miami has a ton of juice there right now, but I think he's still someone that's in the mix there. God, this kid from I'm sorry, bro, I'm not even on my computer. This is just all off the dome. This kid from I think Virginia. I think he's going to be down in Miami this week. He's from Ashburn, Virginia. God, I can't remember his name, but I'll get it to you soon. He's a kid that decommitted from Vanderbilt. I think he's going to be down this weekend because he told me he was going to UCLA, North Carolina, and then Miami. So he'll be at the
6'7" kid. That's the one that's 6'7", or
I'm not sure if he's 6'7". Maybe he is. I don't know, man. I gotta go back and just even find his name. He's another one. They offered this kid from Ohio. It's Miamisville, Ohio. That's a Cincinnati commit, and I think he's from Florida or he spent a good amount of time in Florida. So he's definitely another name to note too. I gotta get back to my laptop and actually find.
And fast forward to 24. They just offered a kid 24 class, and he goes off the charts and say, "Well, this is my dream school." Me and my dad watched this team play, and we all know how the dream school thing ends a lot with him. But I guess I get a different sense with him. He's really saying that's the school I want to go to. I was waiting for the offer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just we'll see.
Julian Randolph from Vanderbilt.
What did you say, Streeter?
Julian Randolph is his name from Vanderbilt.
Yes, Julian Randolph is the Virginia kid.
Right.
I'm here looking.
Oh, okay, yeah, Julian. Okay, yeah, I see.
He's like a basketball kid.
Oh yeah, he played tight end. We love basketball players for tight end.
Let me see this other kid's name. Jackson McGowan. Jackson McGowan is the Cincinnati tight end. I think he's definitely one of these dudes to know. That tight end.
Yeah. So your guy William Fowles. He's about the same size as Khalil Brantley, right?
I don't think he has as much weight. Williams might be 205 maybe.
But that's in high school eating sodas and hot fries, man. He's put together for a high school kid, bro. He's going to get on campus and turn into Zeus.
Yeah, he is. I keep telling people, that's who I would love to be in your class because he's a man amongst boys out there. Yeah, 6'2", 6'3", 205 in high school. Yeah, that's big, man. That. I mean, like they say, they describe him as Dwayne Bowe yesterday, and I was like, yeah, that's him. That's him, man. So we can get into the offensive line. The offensive line is where things get a lot. Well, for me, I won't say for Gaby, but for me, it's just a lot of names out there, a lot of offensive lineman names. And the one name I know everybody keep asking me about is what's his name? Peyton Kirkland. I can't get a good read on him. I felt good at one point, and I felt like it was Florida. I don't know. I'm just lost on that one. I just like, hey man, whatever happens. I'm not going to jump out the water with that one. How do you feel about Peyton Kirkland?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I feel like every time you talk to him, he sort of says all the right things, and I do think him getting a chance to really sit down with these guys the last time. I think he spent a couple days in Miami. Really got to because the only other time he had been at Miami was for that elite prospect day. But that was kind of a mess just because Miami's staff wasn't fully put together and there was a million kids there and 7-on-7 teams and all that stuff, and just Miami did not have the bodies to make that work super efficiently. So I think getting him back on campus, for this, for 2-day unofficial visit, I think was really, really big. And I think he really likes Cristobal and Mirabal and the whole offensive line development of Miami. So I think they're in there. Another guy, I'm going to be in Orlando for the next few days. So hopefully another guy that I'm going to be able to see and catch up with. I'm still working that out.
Okay, yeah, Peyton Kirkland. His commitment date is in June or is it in July?
Yeah, July 23rd. Right? I mean, Derek LeBlanc already backed off of that. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see if they just continue to go forward with that. Maybe Kirkland does. I could see Kirkland of the three being the most likely to stick to that July 23 date, but we'll see.
Okay, yeah. So the other two guys, you don't feel like they'll go ahead and commit. They'll probably wait. Prolong.
I mean, Derek LeBlanc already said he's not gonna commit on that July 23 date.
Oh, okay. That's the
D lineman from Osceola. Yeah. So another guy I'm gonna see tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you're going up there to see? Okay,
yeah. So it's Osceola versus Edgewater. So I mean, it'll be Derek LeBlanc, Cedric Baxter, John Walker, Jakeem Jackson, Bo Masco. And then, it's just it's a loaded game. So, just wanted to take the ride up there.
I was going to say Edgewater. Don't Edgewater have... That's
Cedric Baxter, yeah.
Don't they have the other good running back?
Oh, I don't know. I know Cedric Baxter who plays for Edgewater. I'm not sure if they got another guy.
That's right. Cedric Baxter used to play for
Cedric Baxter, yeah.
Yeah, it's Cedric Baxter.
I finished. I thought it was... hold on. So the young guy, plays for Lehigh.
Yeah, he's at Lehigh.
Yeah,
okay. So I was getting them two mixed up. But okay. Yeah, the offensive line. I got a name that's been floating around. I don't know how much the staff is going to pursue strongly, but I think if we don't get anybody else, they would definitely get him Johnny Williams. Johnny Williams.
Johnny Williams.
Yeah. If we don't get any of the big targets. Like I said, it's a lot of names with the offensive linemen, and I just don't even get into the offensive line thing because it's just, we've been UL, man. We haven't been getting those big targets like that. But hopefully things could change with the way Mario and Marlboro are going to recruit. Do you think the kid, how do you pronounce his name, Streeter? The one that's committed to us, the one that was
Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think he sticks in the class?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it. Just kind of, again, Cooper Patagna, one of our 247sports analysts, he worked in Mario Cristobal's recruiting department. He said that Tinalau's, one of those kind of projects that, Mirabal and Cristobal will sort of roll the dice on, every cycle because he has like the big body and all those types of things that you can, try to fall in love with. And if you mold it the right way, it could be like, one of those guys that ends up working out for them. And I think he can end up being a guard, if he kind of puts it all together and, becomes one of those guys. Doesn't have a ton of, football experience under his, but I think he grew up playing like rugby or something like that. And then played adult league football with his dad or something crazy like that. So I think he's someone that, is interesting and could end up potentially working out.
Okay, and then another one is what, Antonio Tripp. They're gonna move. I think they'll move him to center, or he's gonna stay at guard.
Yeah, and I think he'll end up being probably a center. These interior linemen I think are both pretty interesting. I mean, just Antonio Tripp coming into the class, I mean, kind of surprised everyone on like that. I mean, again, he came for that unofficial visit, and he was there for I guess a few days, and then just sort of popped. And I think that's a good win for them in an area that I feel like they want to sort of get back into, and that's the DMV, and trying to go just recruit a ton of these different guys. And I don't know if they'll get anyone else from that area, but it is one of those regions that produces a lot of talent. So I think I think it's definitely worth taking one of those guys from that area if you want to try to cement yourself or just wedge yourself into that region.
His father was in here, I believe, when we started. I saw Antonio Tripp Sr. and man, I guess he's gone. I'm trying to see if he's still in the audience.
He was in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He from the film I've seen of him. Yeah, he looks good. He looks the part. Looks like he could come in, sit probably a year, 2 years, and then get going for us. At center, I think his ceiling is at center, which would be good because we got some short centers. We got a 6'1" center and a 6'2" center. We need to get somebody who's 6'4", 6'5". You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it goes. Any other surprise names, or you think at the offensive line?
I think there's a lot of names that we're going after. I mean, you got Francis Maligoa at IMG, another guy who I think could probably end up kicking inside, which is fine. I mean, people I feel like take that as take that negatively, like, oh, I think he could be an inside guy. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You need 5 of them up front. I think Maligoa can end up being potentially one of those inside guys. Chase Basantis up at Don Bosco in New Jersey, I think is definitely another name. Olaus Alanin, I think he's from that big private school up in Connecticut. He's gonna OV Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and then Miami. So
you talk about the
he's from Finland or something.
Okay, yeah. He like 6'6", like 300 pounds. Yeah.
He's a big dude. I mean, there's a lot of
real big.
Monroe Freeling is a kid from South Carolina that I really like. Caden Green is a kid from Missouri. He's gonna officially visit. And then just even again more inside guys. I think they should stack up on those inside guys. Madden Sanker from Georgia is a kid that I think Miami has an okay shot with. He's going to officially visit. Roderick Kearney, I mean, from the Jacksonville area. I mean, I think he's a big time interior type of offensive lineman that I would love for Miami to sort of continue to push for. Another kid from Georgia on the inside, Jonathan Klein, and another tackle body. You mentioned Johnny Williams as like maybe one of those low key guys to maybe keep an eye on. There's a kid from, again, the DMV area, Oluwatosin Babalade. He plays at Tamatha, who's actually going to come down and play. Really, they're going to play someone that's big. I think. Oh, it's Gibbons.
I think they're supposed to come down and play.
I think they're playing Gibbons.
Play Heritage.
I think they're playing Cardinal Gibbons. And
Gibbons.
I know that's a kid that they really like. I mean, just again, one of those like under the radar type of kids. I mean, we have an 88 grade on him. But he's another kid from the DMV that I think that they would absolutely love as like a tackle body. Like from what I've heard on him, again, not someone that we talk to a lot, just because I mean, kind of tough to get a hold of. I've tried to get a hold of him multiple times, but I know that like people inside the building are really high on this kid. They call it. I think his nickname is like Big Tree or something like that. So they're definitely high on Big Tree.
Yeah, it's a lot of them names.
There's more.
A lot of names, but a lot of names you were saying you was bringing up was you basically saying they could get kicked to the inside. The guy who's at IMG, what's his name?
Francis Maligoa.
Yeah, Francis. Yeah. I said it from the day one. I say if you don't want to recruit with the big boys, that's a guy that you have to land because he can be basically your franchise offensive tackle on the left side. So you get somebody like that, then you're pretty much going to have a good recruiting class. Other than that, but it's a lot of names. You saying a lot of get kicked on the inside, on the outside. It's good that they could be interchangeable, though.
Right. Yeah, and there's more. There's more that like from even those guys, and it's just to get into each and every one of them would just be so much.
Yeah, man. So, we pretty much okay. Anybody got some more questions about on the offensive side? Me and Gabby spoke on.
Yeah, I got a few more minutes. I probably got like 10 more minutes because then I got a pregnant wife, so I definitely have to feed her
Okay. Nice,
soon.
cool. I mean, we'll stick with offense right now.
That's cool.
We'll just stick on the offensive side. Defense, we'll get to another day.
Yeah, and I'll definitely hop back on if you want to do that.
Yeah. So, anybody got some questions, real quick, for Gabby? For the offensive side of recruits that we after. Lance, I see you. What's good?
Man, what they do, X, what they do, Street.
What's good, man?
Hey, Gabby, can you tell me about the kid? Can you tell me about the kid? What you think about the kid from Winter Haven, the cornerback from Lake Wales?
For Jeremiah Anglin?
Yep.
In terms of like from a Miami point of view, or just like what I think of him as a player?
Miami.
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna like make like a super strong push there, but I think he's good. I mean, the first time I heard his name was at that National Combine in San Antonio they do during like the All-American Bowl. Mm-hmm. I know he balled out there, and I know he's been on their radar since then. I know he came down. He visited in January. I think you were there too.
Yeah.
For that January 22nd day that they did the elite prospect thing. I know he was there for that, and I know they finally came around and offered him. But again, I mean, I don't know. I think he's probably more of a safety. I think that they're still trying to fight for some of these like maybe like top type of guys. I'm not sure if they start. I think he is probably. I'm not saying he's like not. I don't think he's low on their board, but I think they're just still going after like the Jonel Guerreros, like these fringe 5-star type of guys that they really like, and I could see them potentially turning it up on him down the road. But I think right now. I'm not sure if Miami's going to get like super, super involved there.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. I see we just bought in Antonio Tripp. That's the father. What's going on, man? Antonio, you here? Senior.
Oh, you hear me now? I had to turn the mic on, I think.
Oh, okay. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
We good.
All right. Yeah, I always be chiming in when y'all turning on. When I say in the 23 class, I was listening to y'all. But I heard y'all was talking about my son recruiting early when we went. Yeah, we went down there, whatever. Like a lot of people was asking about him recruiting, like about him committing early. But when we went there, he already had still like probably like another maybe like 28 offers at the time. But like when we went down there, it was just basically like once he went, we talked to the staff for a couple days. Like I said, I was trying to tell people like I'm gonna back my son up, but I'm not gonna pick the school he go to because I'm not suiting up, getting on the field playing. They gotta go there. Yeah. So when we basically went there, he just basically was feeling everything crystal ball, and Mirrorball was talking about like how they had fit him in playing. And like we went back to the hotel and we was just discussing everything about the program, looking at the little history, and he was just ready to pull the trigger. So I was just backing him up, like if you want to do it, and just do it.
Yeah, I mean it. Like Gabby said, it was a shocker because we didn't get word that it was going to be a commitment, and then when it happened, we was like, "Oh, wow, that's good."
We didn't even know. Like he still like. He had a lot. We still had a lot of schools to go to. Like we never like this. He still had like Michigan, Texas A&M. A lot of them guys still was like calling us real heavy. But at the same time, he was really feeling Miami from him talking to Coach Potter and Mirrorball a couple times. So I just basically was like, did my little history, and I was also liking everything they was talking about, and like what the future was looking like for him. So I was like, go on ahead and do it.
Okay, yeah, that's good, man. We loved it. We appreciate and love the fact that he did pull that trigger, man. He's a good player. Good player, man. Like I was saying, they kick him into center, man. I think that's his ceiling. That's me personally.
Right.
He get the center, man. I just think, that's his spot, his bread and butter. He has the size, he has the quickness. I haven't been around him to hear him talk or him dissect plays or nothing like that. So I'm pretty sure he has the intelligence to play that position.
Definitely.
Center's got to be intelligent and stuff.
Yeah, he actually played it like our center went down like earlier this year, like in the season, and he actually like played center for like the whole second half. I was scared though. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I thought he was gonna mess up, but he actually ain't messed no snaps up or nothing. And he kind of like been talking to like a lot of people because he really trying, you know, like every other kid, like his dream go to the NFL. But he been doing his own research, like, you know, on his size and saying if he growing. So he really was interested in like playing the center position and like, you know, maybe trying it out and try to switch to it just to see if it might could get him to the next level because of his size. So he definitely a Doug though. I can't wait for him to really get down there. I hear how you guys talk. I know y'all how y'all be about football. Y'all just scared about y'all don't get the right recruits, but I know this recruit, he definitely gonna put it on. I just can't wait for y'all to really see him close up.
Oh man, like, trust me, he get down here, man. We gonna love him. We definitely gonna take care of him, man.
He definitely the challenge though, whatever challenge, and like he not like any other kid. Like a lot of kids like might feel like they don't want to get other kids with him because it might take their spot away. But he still be on here, like still recruiting a lot of kids. That play
trust me, I see it. I see it. I be like, man, that man recruiting hard.
That's what I wanted to say.
He definitely about the competition. He been starting varsity since he was a freshman. So it's like when he step up, he definitely about the competition. So that's why I can't wait for him to get down there. He definitely gonna compete.
That's good, man. You think he play? Okay, so he plan on enrolling early?
The school, the private school where he go at, like the league we in, they don't allow that at all.
Yeah. That's once we go into the private schools, they definitely don't allow it. That's the only bad thing about high school private schools that I don't like. They don't allow the kids to enroll early. It's something I think they need to fix like immediately.
Definitely if the kids had the credits, but it's just something about that private school. Like, you know, they had their own rules. So
yeah. They do
like
that,
whatever they say, go.
Hey, Dad, I was gonna say that's what make your son a center, making them calls and leadership. You see him out there recruiting, he is ready to lead a team. The way he out there recruiting on Twitter and stuff, I'm like, man, this dude is a hurricane, bro. Yeah, and that's a center for you, man.
He definitely love it. Like he stay in contact with those guys like every day. Like they like when I be hearing y'all talking about the other recruits, like I know them recruits, they definitely ain't lying because that's how they do. They get up, they give everybody the wake up calls, text messages like every day. So it's not like he committed to them and they just like, oh, we got him and whatever. Like they definitely stay in contact and, you know, see what's going on. Coach Mirabal like had visited practice like maybe a couple weeks ago, like visited school. So they definitely stay in contact.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Can't wait for him to we gonna wait, but wait for him to finish his senior season. But we definitely can't wait for him to get down here to Miami, man.
Definitely. He come down there for his official, I think, on the 10th. I think June the 10th.
And would he come back to the Legends camp?
Yeah, I think that's like I think that's like the 24th or maybe the 25th. Yeah, he's supposed to come back down there then too.
Okay, yeah. When he come down, man, you can get with Mill Streeter, man. Him, man. We could probably set up a nice little interview for you guys if you up for the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely see you guys, you know, get to know more of y'all, you know, maybe in like another year, so we be down there a little more. But I definitely be on y'all show every time y'all really click on here.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the support, man. We here, man.
Definitely.
Lance, what's good, man? Hey, I wanted to call your phone. Like, what's up with your boy?
But they
what's up with your boy Tyler Williams, man? What's happening?
Man, listen, man, I was telling everybody, they were asking me the other day, man. I think this is what I think about it. Because I saw when it came out of the top 10, like, damn. I think when they made that switch, you know, when Mario was out, them schools.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Mario kind of came on them late. Don't get it wrong, he did come at them. And not a lot of people like, well, late. But sometimes you're doing a relationship with these coaches already. Then somebody try to come in, you're going to show them attention. But you're going to show them, you're going to let them know you ain't turning them down, but you still probably built that relationship with somebody else.
Wasn't B-Mac the one that reached out to him first though, right? When he first got here, B-Mac then he left for Georgia.
I think so. Yep. Yep.
I mean, look, when that happened, when B-Mac left, I said, yeah, you know, the receiver room going to dramatically change because now you got to figure out who's the new receiver coach. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of figured it was going to be like that.
But Mario did make a push. That's one thing I can't say. He didn't. He came here and he still, he still got to do some work and shit. Florida coming to this motherfucker, Florida State. But he did make a push on him. Maybe it was too late.
It's all good. You think it's completely over, or you just
hell no?
Okay,
I don't think it is. I don't never think recruitment over till they sign because, like at the end of the year, these coaches be bleeding.
Yeah, true. It's definitely true, man. But again, like I say, the receiver room.
I'm going to watch him play tomorrow.
The receiver room.
I'm gonna let y'all know how
early,
you play
man.
tomorrow.
I don't know if you disappointed at the receiver room we bought up early, then you just don't like football. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check him out tomorrow and see what he do, man. They play Venice tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Maddie, what's up, man? You got in here and you ain't said nothing all day.
My fault, man. I've been doing some around the house. I had a street. I was gonna be doing something. So, what's good, everybody? Live was good, Lance.
Cooler, man.
I was just listening, man. I like that stuff. Oh, Gaby trying to come back.
I know, cause I just got a DM right now. They talking about, man, X, you think we could take 5 to 6 receivers? I'm like, come on, 6, man, that's a lot.
Fuck that. No scholarship. Hey, we ain't gotta worry about them 25. Hey, take them all. Take them all, goddammit. Take them.
I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. Do you really want to take 6 receivers in one class? Like,
that's I don't give a shit, to be honest with you.
The pass happy league is a pass happy league.
That's a whole lot of people not getting snapped.
Remember that lie last year was selling us about 6 receivers playing.
I'll take
only 4 gonna get on the field if you have him. So
I'll take 5.
Gaby, you back in here. What's up, Gaby? You back in?
Yeah, bro. I got sent on a food run, so I'm in the car now, so I can hop back on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Antonio Tripp Dade just got on. Said he's basically just told the story how they committed. Coach Marlbron and Coach Mario, the way they on him. And he said he's into switching to center position once he comes. I guess when he comes down. So that's a good plus sign right there. You'll solidify your anchor for the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal because I think getting that like that's one of the positions that's a little tougher to recruit because I think it's one of those positions that you typically have to get a guy that's typically played guard or even sometimes a guy that's played tackle and kind of sell them on the idea of playing center. A lot of these guys want to play the big money position of left tackle or even right tackle. So sometimes convincing these guys that their ceilings on the inside could be tough. So for them to have that mentality that he can come in and kick inside. I know Ryan Rodriguez kind of adapted to that too. Ja'Kai Clark did the same. So identifying those guys and getting them on board is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, we don't have much depth there, right? Because after Ja'Kai, you got Rodriguez. Yeah, we don't have any depth at center, so
you really don't. I mean, besides, okay, so you have Clark, you have Rodriguez, and they still, do a little move here and there with Big Baby Seymour. With Seymour.
Yeah, I think Seymour could be another guy that potentially.
So those are 3. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have, and even with those 3, you still don't have the ideal size. They all 6'2", 6'1". I think Rodriguez is pushing 6'3" at the most. So, you still want, you want the ideal, the 6'4", 6'5" ideal center. You know what I'm saying? As far as height wise. But yeah, I think Antonio Tripp, he definitely fits that 6'4" center bracket that we definitely been needing in the middle of the field.
Are we going defense or?
Nah, we'll do defense another time. Because Gaby was on, he couldn't stay on for that longer. So we'll get back to defense. And defense is not gonna be as hard is offense, because offense is, between the offensive line, it was just so many names that Gaby had named. Pretty much on the defensive side, we almost identify who the staff is going after already, so it won't be that hard. But anybody else got some questions before Gaby get up out of here?
I see we got one that requested, but before we get to, I just want to ask real quick, what's your thoughts on people who commit this early in the process?
Say it again.
What's your thoughts on people who on guys who commit this early in the process?
As of now, like I told them earlier, I say I don't get excited anymore because you can recruit them, they commit early, and then on signing day or even close to signing week, they could switch up. It's just too much going on right now for them to stay committed for 6 months, a year or whatever. Like, man, you got coaches still after them. They looking at NIL deals. They looking at this and this and that. It's just so much going on where I'm not even excited about a commit until I see the name on the paper now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just so crazy right now. To me, it's basically all timeline talk, troll talk. Nothing matters till the name is on the paper. Florida State just Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? They talked a whole 2 years about Travis Hunter. He flips on signing day. You know what I'm saying? So is it that important anymore? Or however you want to get it, but
wait, I got a question for Gaby. It's kind of recruiting later. So like Gaby, so you get a kid that comes in as a 3 or 4 star, whatever, doesn't play for a year or two, but he hits the transfer portal. Does his stars translate, or do you drop him a star, or is it production based? Like how does this transfer portal stars or ranking, I should say, change?
Yeah, I think that's a good question because that's something that I think they just started really doing now in terms of just like actually giving these kids like a transfer rating and all that stuff. I think they're a lot more like conservative in terms of like how they rank some of the transfers. Like I think there's a lot of 4 stars running around out there. Guys that even we have as like 89s that who could potentially be, Power 5, starters. There's nothing wrong with being like, a 3-star or anything like that. But for example, like, some of these guys were like productive in college, like a Mitchell Agude, for example. I mean, 6'4", 265-ish. I think he like broke the UCLA record for most forced fumbles. And I think like, he gets like an 87 rating, which would be like, it's basically like a mid 3-star rating. So, I think, there is a whole new ranking system. There are guys that are ranked higher as transfers than they were as recruits. There are guys that are ranked lower as transfers than they were as recruits. And I think a lot of it is just like, production, what did they do and all that stuff. Like, for example, Jordan Addison's like a 5-star transfer and all that stuff. And that's because he's the best wide receiver in the country, so I think it's a lot of things kind of go into it the same way that they would sort of evaluate a high school kid. I think evaluating college tape is probably I think it'll tell you a bit more. So, I think that they try to be, as accurate as possible with those transfer rankings. But I do think that they've been a little bit more on the conservative side.
Yo, hey, Kingsville,
what's up?
What's going on? Hey, man, I want to say I appreciate you for reposting my song, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Adonis with the lime green cleats.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. He was happy when he seen that. He was like, how many followers he got?
Hey, man, I'm here for the kids, man. I love the kids, man. I do anything for my South Florida kids, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it, bro. Like, we outside. We this is for a lot of their hurricanes, we getting ready for Rank It Up in Georgia.
Oh yeah, I heard y'all the tournament up there. Y'all going up. When y'all leave?
We leave it's July, the last week of July. So it'll be like the 28th, 29th, 30th, or 31st around that time.
Yeah, man.
It's a big tournament up there.
Yeah, go up there, represent, man. You gotta hold it down for South Florida, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this team right here, bro, it's gonna be tough, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, bro. I just seen one kid. It's like 8 studs on one team, and they 6 years old.
Oh, man. Yeah, I gotta come check y'all out for one of them practices.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Kelly.
All right, thanks. That's all I wanted to do, bro. Thanks.
And no pressure, man. No pressure. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mama Kelly, what's happening?
Hey, how everybody doing?
We good.
Right,
we good.
right.
We good.
Good.
Hey,
I think
Gabby,
Kings for Life had a little
before you get up
question.
out of here, Gabby, before you get up out of here, okay, so the the Nathaniel Joseph Ray situation is, basically it's all over the place now.
Yeah.
Clemson had a policy about not letting their commits visit. I think, let me see, in March, I was telling people that Ray was going to visit UM. And I was like, well, if he visits, does Clemson still hold that policy against him? And I got word that they were saying they would allow him to do it because of how good he was. I'm like, well, that don't make no sense though.
Yeah.
But now, the word is out that he got very good interest in University of Miami. I don't know. Somebody said he took some secret visits or something like that. I didn't find anything out about that. But now I feel like UM is basically in the driver's seat with him because he was already a UM fan. It was just our previous staff, was being idiotic.
Yeah. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, this is something that's been in the works for a while now. Ivins did talk about those secret visits, and yeah. I mean, I think Clemson's aware of those secret visits too. I don't think this is something. I think this is something. I mean, really, I think Miami did a good job of keeping under wraps while they could. I think it's at the point now where I think it's just obvious that Miami's heavily involved there. Would Miami be this involved if a kid from Dade County hadn't gone on campus and seen them at any point? I don't know. I think you can just read the tea leaves there, and I think you can put two and two together and say, yeah, it's probable that Nathaniel Joseph, made it to campus. Secret visit. I mean, again, this is happening. This is not something like, again, it's something that people have kept low key, but I mean, he's definitely been around. I think Clemson knows he's been around, and it's just full court press time. I think Miami's trying to flip this kid, and I think that they're doing a really good job of it. Again, I think they did a really good job of keeping that initial pursuit under wraps. And maybe if he backs off that Clemson commit and goes public with that, I'll probably come in with like a backstory on maybe the frequency of the visits, how many times they've happened. Because I feel like I have a pretty good idea of when he's been on campus and all that stuff. So, but again, this is a process. You got to let it play out. Clemson, he's still committed to Clemson. But I think Miami's doing, more than enough to really, kind of keep him thinking about it and, put themselves in a good spot.
Yeah. So for all of y'all who keep giving Uncle Luke a lot of hell, y'all, when it does happen, I want y'all to apologize to Uncle Luke. Cause y'all give him hell, and he working now. Uncle Luke is a UM fan, man. Through thick, he's a UM fan. So don't think he don't want his players to go there, but he also wants his players to go to a team that wants his players.
X, I just want to interject. We had Nathaniel on the space the other day, and he did say that he had taken visits to the campus and that he gets text messages every day from Gaddis and Cristobal, and that they're recruiting him really hard.
Oh wow! So he came and said that he's
and that he's a Hurricane fan. He always has been a Hurricane.
Yeah, so I think it's almost pretty much done.
Yeah, he basically
flip. If he came out and said he's taking visits, then
yeah, he did say he took visits, and he said that he's getting recruited very hard, and he's getting text messages every day from Gaddis and Cristobal.
Yeah, and he said it was pretty much even. He's like, only thing Miami just need to do is just keep recruiting him. Yeah. But I had a few questions for Gabby before he checked out.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
My question, all right, with the 25 limits, a year scholarship limit that they had before. All right, like how was schools like Texas A&M going over signing 33 players and stuff? And my other question to follow that is, like, isn't this going to be better for teams like Georgia and Bama being able to sign 35 players? Now they get the best like 35 and then leave everybody else with the shits.
But you still got to go under. You still got to be under the 85 scholarship limit.
So that's even more. So think of it like this: if Bama could sign 35, what's to say if they don't want to go after Nathaniel even harder now, and then start going after the best of the best and push the ones out like Ty Jones Bell, push him out. Like who?
Well, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's going to happen when you have the upperclassman who hasn't really done much. They'll say, "Hey, man, we think it's best for you to, look elsewhere because we bringing in such and such." Or even if they don't tell them, the signs there, like, "Oh, they just brought in 6 receivers, and I'm a receiver, and I ain't got on the field yet." My red flag should automatically go up and say, "Yeah, they don't want me here, so let me go." You know what I'm saying? So, not necessarily good for Georgia, not necessarily good for Bama, because they still recruit good players. You know what I'm saying? And they players do wait their turn. So it's not saying it's good for them. And then you still got to have under that 85 scholarship limit. That's the major thing that's going to be a issue with teams like Bama.
And Bama still got to compete with.
I was about to say, as far as after missing out on the UCF receiver, like, was it anybody else in the portal that Miami might look at for receiver?
At wide receiver, Gaby probably can answer that one. I don't know. I haven't looked into the portal just yet for any more receivers. So I couldn't tell you that. But Gaby might can answer that one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think it's anyone else in particular that they're gonna go after right now. I don't know. Let's see if maybe a grad transfer name emerges right now. I don't think that there's anyone currently in there that they're super we need to get this guy now.
Yeah. I think it was going to be a privilege for us to get an extra receiver anyway. So I don't think it's that much pressure to get one just because we didn't. I think Gallus likes the receiver room. Obviously, we do need a speed guy, but he does like the receiver room. So I don't think it's that much of an issue for us to just say, "Oh, we didn't get one, so now you got to go crazy because we didn't." It's still a good receiver room. Romelo will be back. Romelo Brinson will be back. So that's added depth and added competition there.
Right there. I think he's gonna be the key because he missed spring. I think he's gonna be the one that flipped that wide receiver room and show what we've been missing, because he has the potential to be that number one player in my book.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think once he gets on the field, he doesn't get off the field because he's just that type of player. So we should be good in the wide receiver room, man. Yeah, anybody I got one more question for Gaby, man? I'm gonna let Gaby get out of here. Y'all got one more question to ask him, so go ahead. Nobody else? I see we got Luke in the building. Let me get Luke on here.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time and all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
So, I'll hop back on with you whenever you want, X. All right, just hit me up.
All right, I got you. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later, guys.
Later, Gaby.
Mama Kelly, what's good? Mama Kelly, she's the official Footballville mom, y'all. Y'all better respect that.
She's gonna be the first. She's gonna be the first lady of Footballville now.
First lady of Footballville, man. We going national now.
Yeah.
How things going, Mama Kelly?
Soon. Everything good.
Yeah, you been now the league. I know they on break now, right? When they report back to school.
They started classes Monday.
Oh wow, that's right. I forgot because most of the rest of the freshmen and then the transfers did come in this week. Okay, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, so they still ain't. Well, I know they said he should be ready by time fall camp come on, but they ain't give no specific timetable about when he'll be able to full go.
Oh, he's already on full go.
Oh, she's full go now. Oh, we ready.
Mm-hmm.
I told him the other day. I said, man, I think Najee gonna probably be our best defensive end once he get it healthy.
Yeah, he full go now. He was full go from The end of April. It was just after the spring game.
Oh,
it was like a
okay.
week or two after the spring game.
Okay, yeah, that's good, man. Uncle
I
Luke,
got a
what's
question for
happening?
you, X.
Hey, Coach.
Hey guys,
Uncle Luke, what's
how
happening?
y'all doing, man?
Oh, what's happening, Luke?
What's going on?
What's up, man? You brought us a Ray shirt, Luke?
No.
Oh, come on, Luke.
Hey, Coach, I told you we were gonna flip him, Coach.
I know it's your job.
Told you that,
You gotta
man.
get stocks in the stocks. Stocks in the stocks. Hey man, so who all did we? I've been dealing with this spring. So who all did we get in the portal? Did we get everybody we wanted?
Yeah, we pretty much got everybody besides the I think the one position they did want to add was at wide receiver, so we didn't get anybody at that position. But every other position we got what we needed.
So based on what we did in the portal, does that mean we win 10 games or more?
Okay, so with the current roster we have, including the portal guys, and with the staff we have, we should win 10 games. I mean, it looks like we should win 10 games, but we have to get over that hump of being the previous UM. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to winning 10 games actually. So on paper, it looks like we can, especially with the schedule we have outside of Texas A&M, Clemson. I don't think it's any other team with as much talent as we have. Maybe Carolina, but still not them. So,
Hey X, I got a question. I got a question to follow up with that. Us not winning 10 games, can we just chalk that up to just not really just having the coaching staff? Because if you look at it, like if we don't have a string of not so good coaches, but as soon as we got one with Mike Rick, we was able to get back into that 10-win, range and stuff.
That's a great point. I just thought about the other day that Malik Rozier is the only quarterback in, I think, almost 15 years to lead us to a 10-win season, a double-digit win season.
Yeah, it is. It's true. I think the coach. Well, I do know the coaching staff we have now is better than Mark Rick's coaching staff. But Mark Rick just been doing it for so long, he knew how to get to that process. Remember, first year Mark Rick came in, we was 9-4, and then the next year is the 10-2. I mean, 10 and whatever, 10-2, 10-1, something like that. So this staff we have the ability to get us there. It's the players. Now it's the players. You know what I'm saying? On the previous staff, I would blame the coaching staff. Now I'm going. If we can't get there, it's the players. Because I feel like the staff. You just got up Josh Gaddis. He just won the Broyles Award, the Best Offensive Coordinator Award. You just got Adai. He's one of the best defensive back coaches in the nation. You got Stills and Charlie Strong, was two of the most sounded-minded defensive coordinators in college football. You have that, and you have Mario, who's a coach who works all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we got the staff to do it, but if we don't do it, it's the players.
Hey,
So is there? Go ahead. Go ahead, Luke. My bad.
What was that? Yeah. Let me ask you this: if and I'm gonna keep asking this: has anyone on the team other than the quarterback emerged as the leader? Because I know we didn't see that in the spring. No one emerged as the leader. Who do you? Being that didn't happen, who do we expect to become the leader? Because at the end of the day, you got to have a captain. You got to have somebody that's going to bring the culture and going to bring the attitude that they're going to rally behind. I mean, who's that guy?
Okay, so on the defensive side of the ball is James Williams. That's without a doubt the obvious answer there.
What about Reed?
On the field, he's just the leader.
What about Reed?
Guy. What about who?
Tariq.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, you can add Tariq. But I just think James Williams is that he's the better leader. I'm just being real.
Okay.
Tyreek, Tyreek is going to be a great player for us this year. But James Williams, he has a sense about him where when he gets on the field, the players, his teammates follow because he does it so well. So James Williams, defensively, he's going to be that leader guy for us. Offensively, even you got TVD, but you still need somebody else. And I think, oh man, it's kind of hard to name somebody.
Yeah,
on
it's a tough one. Does
If
Zion talk? Does Zion speak?
Zion quiet, man. Zion
quiet. Well, what about Clark?
Man, the whole offensive line quiet, man.
God damn.
If I had to pick one, I would probably say it's probably gonna be Restrepo, or it's gonna be
Chaney.
Yeah.
Even though
he might not be playing though. Chaney might not be playing, man.
But
Chaney will be ready for fall.
I know, but it's kind of if he's not playing though, it's kind of hard to leave from the bench though.
Hey, listen, he's one of those kids though.
I got you.
Yeah, Chaney definitely one of them. He definitely one. If he's on the field, he's going to be that guy. But like, I see what Luke's saying. Luke's saying you need that alpha on the field that everybody has to follow behind his lead. I don't think hasn't did a good job at recruiting that alpha male. But I know they got one with James Williams. LT probably not gonna talk as much. He's just gonna go out there and play football. I think you got more of the alpha males on defense than you have on offense.
You know what? You know why that probably is, X? Because I know some of the guys you probably was gonna name. Over the past, all of our leaders have been. We talked about this before. I think it was on the space too. Over the past, or maybe that was the Canes and Filter. I can't remember. But over the past, all of our leaders have been guys that came from other schools that know how it should be done. And on defense, we have more transfers over there, so we can look to a Mesador, Caleb, or whoever, whatever. And we don't really have that on the offensive side of the ball. So we're gonna have to organically develop some leaders, or somebody's gonna have to develop some leadership within themselves.
I mean, so offensively, outside, like, TV. I think TVD is that. He's become a lot more vocal. After that, what he said about North Carolina State, I was like, oh, he's the guy. He basically like, oh yeah, we beat them, we'll beat them again. So from that moment, I was like, okay, he's our guy. The offensive linemen, they quiet. I think the only one who will say something much is Scaife for the most. But the rest of them are quiet. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, we definitely need somebody to be that leader, that guy on offense. Even not even including TVD, because we know he's that already. We need somebody else though.
I think, quite honestly, on defense, the linebacker coming from UCLA is gonna have a lot to say, in my opinion, as far as leadership. I don't think he's necessarily gonna be one of those guys that's like just gonna take over the room. Like, it's my room. James is gonna have a space as well as Avante, but I think that's kind of what you want, is that senior leader in your linebacking core, because we always talk about a linebacker being the quote unquote quarterback of the defense. So I think he's gonna have something to say. But we have the unique opportunity to have Mama Kelly in here, so maybe Najee can give her some insight she can share.
I don't necessarily
not no freshman though.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think even okay. So Caleb Johnson came in. I don't necessarily think he comes in and just becomes that instant alpha. Now maybe he could be that alpha on the field or when he's playing on the field. But as of now, that defensive room belongs to James Williams. It's just what it is. James Williams is the alpha male in that defensive room. And you got Cam Kitchens, who probably the most intelligent defensive player we have. So you got players on the defensive room that could do that. It's just the offensive side, look back, even when Ken Dorsey was the quarterback at University of Miami, Ken Dorsey was most likely the alpha male because he was the one doing all the talking. He just had players on offense that went out there and made plays for him. You know what I'm saying? Clint Portis, Willis McGahee, Andre Johnson, Roscoe. He had Brian McKinney. Brian McKinney was definitely quiet in college, but Brian McKinney was an alpha on the offensive line.
X, I had somebody DM me asking about how about Mallory stepping up and being a leader on the offense.
Oh man, Mallory is definitely not that guy to do that. He's another quiet one. And I'm not saying quiet. He talks, but he's not. Okay. Hey, I'm trying to name. What was that guy who plays for you now? Keontra Smith. He's an alpha male who will get in there and tell you, get in your face, you know what I'm saying, and talk. He's talking and he's trying to do things. He's an alpha. Again, on the offensive side, I don't know. I'm trying to get Streeter back in here to come, but he ain't. I don't know what he got going on because he could probably tell you somebody on offense that he thinks. But yeah, like on Blue say on defense, I mean that's it. Deep, we got him on defense. It's the offense.
I guess they were asking because since he'll be a senior.
I mean, yeah, that being the senior, that doesn't mean he's going to be the captain or alpha male. It just means he's been here longer than everybody else. And if he don't get it together, he won't be on the field because Arroyo is there. Arroyo is trying to play right now.
Yeah, I think that's the key to getting to the 10 games and going over. Somebody, I mean, when you look at any top team or great teams, or even all the University of Miami great teams, you always had that leader. You say Roscoe and Reggie and Willis and all them dudes was talkative. They're gonna get it. Each room each room has its leader. So you normally have a bunch of guys that you can say, okay, this is the captain because in my room I lead my room. It ain't on us. O-line, it ain't on us, D-line. And I don't really rule out a freshman with a new staff. If a freshman come in there, his body type is where he needs to be at, and he go up in there and he put in the work, he can and he gets on the field. He can be that leader. But I don't see no guy sitting on the bench being the leader.
Let me ask well, you, Luke, X, because y'all is there anybody y'all seen in high school? Like we know, like in high school, we saw James like flipping out and shit on the sideline, and so he got that energy to be a leader, to get your shit together. Whoop, whoop. It ain't nobody y'all can recall or y'all can remember one of the kids at Central or Northwest. Anybody y'all can't recall none of those kids?
Romelo
okay.
Brinson.
Yeah,
Henry Parrish. Romelo Brinson, Henry Parrish.
Melo gonna talk trash. I mean, I've coached against him, and Melo is very talkative on the field. But again, just like y'all was saying, senior leadership is very important. It's kind of hard for me when a transfer come in and now he got to be the leader. That just to me that don't fit well. It should be a person who was recruited there and who played there and who then put his body on the line at the program, and then that other person come in and be assist him in leading. But
that's how it's been for us, Luke. For the last I don't know how many years, that's how it's been for us. Rambo, Reed.
Yep, and I always complain. I was always the first one to complain because when the first day they sent that wide receiver as the captain to the media, to the ACC conference, I was like, they're going to program. It has to be a guy just my opinion. This is just my opinion. It has to be a guy, who's already been there. He should be able to take the leadership, and because a new guy got to come feel his way around. It's almost like if I come to your house, I can't just go to your house and being a leader in there, even though I might be the best cook in the kitchen. I got to respect everybody up in there, and I got to, check the room and who's the alpha. And at that point, I can assist them in being a leader. But then, along the way in the season, I could emerge as the leader. But a leader is the guy who come to class every day, take his ass to practice, He leads in every drill. Some of these transfers, you ain't seen what they're gonna do, you know, in practice. So they can't necessarily come in right now and say, okay, I'm the leader. That's just my opinion. You know, I pick leaders, you know, the guy,
What was the
the
question?
first dude to the water fountain, you know, beat him to the water fountain, compete on everything.
So, Streeter, the question was, Uncle Luke, he asked the question, who on the team, the current team right now, will be the leaders of the football team? Who's going to basically be the alpha male leaders on the football team? He said TVD, obviously, as for quarterback. I said James Williams for the defensive room, and Kenyasha Smith, you know, is another one at linebacker.
Right.
On the offensive side, outside of TVD, I don't think we have that. You think we got somebody on the offensive side?
What about Cam Kitchen?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Cam Kitchens, but you know, Cam Kitchens, he was out for spring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, as of what we've seen this spring,
Restrepo.
Yeah.
I think he kind of leads
That's what I
by,
said.
you know what I'm saying, by example, by the play, just make plays. You know what I'm saying? I think Restrepo.
Okay, but we understand the lead by example, make the plays and stuff like that. But we talking
somebody vocal.
When your team's down, man, they call a timeout. That guy get in that huddle and he tells everybody what's going on. He's in their chest.
I think Restrepo built like that, but I don't think that's what y'all are looking for. But I think he is. Me knowing him personally, he's built like that. But I think y'all looking for
I think y'all are going for somebody that's just gonna be yelling and screaming. And a lot of times, especially with these kids coming up, that don't really move them. The best leaders are the ones that can kind of keep things under wrap, like keep it calm, keep everybody level-headed, not all that yelling and screaming, because at some point that shit start going in one ear and coming out the other. So with him saying Restrepo, I don't really know Restrepo like that to say that he's gonna be that person. But if y'all saying that he leads by example, then 9 times out of 10, that's probably gonna be the person that everybody looks to in the offensive room. Obviously, the quarterback is going to be the number one guy, but after the quarterback, it's probably going to be Restrepo if he's the one that is going to lead by example. Like Luke was saying, going to class, leading all the drills, just doing what you got to do is leadership in itself. And then sometimes just coming to the huddle and saying, hey, we got this, and this going on, and keeping level-headed when you down by 10, that's leadership in itself. Some people just own and command a room. They don't have to be yell. I mean, they don't have to be loud. They don't have to yell. They just flat out dominant, and that's really what an alpha male is. They don't have to do all that yelling and screaming and kicking and hollering. That becomes overly done a lot of times.
I don't think it's so much about yelling and screaming. It's just that on the football field, you have to have some kind of vocal leadership. So
I
it's
think
like
the word people looking for is accountability. Like, I think who gonna keep the guys accountable in the locker room. I think people saying leadership, but I think a lot of people saying that, yeah, leadership can be just going through your assignments, keeping a level head. But I think that we got post-traumatic stress about discipline. I think guys are just looking for who will keep the locker room in line on offense and defense.
But you could do that real chill. You could be like, hey, dog, like, what you doing? You ain't doing what you got to do. You ain't got to be loud when you do it. You can step to him and say what you got to say to him and walk off. That's a leader. That's probably the best leader, because they probably going to respect you more for not trying to put them on the spot or stuff like that. Like, I'm sure if some of these dudes tell stories, not necessarily dudes on the team, because like y'all said, accountability, discipline, and leadership under the last tab ain't been the best. But like guys from other schools, like a lot of times you get people that's leaders that be the best leaders that don't nobody ever notice, because they do it like so chill with it, and sometimes it get across more than what it sounds like y'all looking for.
I give you an example. It's not necessarily that, but like when I say like vocal, so you look at, like, I give you 2 examples. De'Aaron King and KJ Osborne. If you look at the way they came in, they weren't really yellers and screamers, but you could tell they came in as leaders. Like that whole story about King and Harley, and that shit. That's how Harley got his shit together. Like, that's a dope ass story and shit. So I think that's what Luke is looking for. Like, who's that guy that's gonna hold you accountable? Like you saying, you don't have to cut somebody out to hold them accountable, but who's that guy that's gonna say what needs to be said when it needs to be said? Like when Luke was saying Rambo went to the whatchamacallit, when they asked Rambo a question and he answered the question honestly and shit, they cut his nuts off of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got in trouble for what he was saying about the offense or whatever and shit. So it's like, we need somebody that's not afraid to do that.
I know. When I look at the leader thing, and I try to take my perspective from it because I'm different from this era. So when I'm looking at the leader thing, I'm talking about again the TVD thing. When TVD was asked about North Carolina State, he say, not worry about them. We beat them last year. We'll beat them again this year. That's basically what I'm talking about. He said that, and guess what? The team rallied behind him because they say, hey, man, if he had the guts to say that, I'm finna get behind him and follow because I don't want to put him out there to make him look bad. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
And shoot.
He went out there and did it. You know what I'm saying? The team went out there, got behind him, we won the game. And from that moment on, you say, oh, yeah, we got us a quarterback now.
Yeah, that type of stuff I wholeheartedly agree with, but it just kind of sounded like it was going.
No. I mean, like I'm not saying like the fussing and getting in, faces and fight. I'm not talking about that because that too can be detrimental to the team. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody who's just doing all this and, hey, hold on, that's not how everybody gonna respond. But at the same time, you will follow somebody who will get into that fight. Be like, man, he got into that fight with two people. Oh, okay. I don't know if everybody remember this the play that happened last year. University of Miami was playing, I think it's North Carolina. I don't know if it's them or somebody.
Talking about with James.
They scored a touchdown. James
North Carolina.
End zone by himself.
Yep.
Nobody else comes around. The team is the other team all over James Williams. Nobody's around.
Yeah, I'll never forget that shit, bro. That shit I'll never forget that, bro.
I saw that in the first game. When in the first game they ran, I forget who it was. He ran into the sideline, and they were pushing and pushing and pushing, and nobody went to the sideline to help the kid out. And I think I almost blew up the TV because that right there shows a dysfunctional program and with no leadership. And so that's why you will hear me say this all the way to the end. And I asked Mario the same thing. Before the spring was over, right before the spring game, I was like, so who the leader? Because I that's just football. And being around University of Miami so many years, I knew, and dealing with them guys, back in the days, and even with my team, I'm always looking for the leadership. Who the guy going, it was Jerome Brown. It was Jerome Brown over Winston Moss and all the rest of them grown men. You see Ed Reed controlling the DB room. You know what I'm saying? Leading by example, whether you're vocal or get your shit together, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out there doing dumb stuff, and you will see them dudes even at a club. You'll go grab one of them by the back, because that's, like I say, it's leadership in two different ways. You could be a quiet leader. That guy who they depend on, to make that play. And that guy, he's, like Amari Cooper, he was soft-spoken. If he said one word, it spoke volumes. Like, hey, look at man, y'all tighten up. Throw me the ball. Like that. That guy there, and everybody automatically stands to attention. So that's why I say we, hopefully that person emerge, because you're gonna need that, just like the young lady said earlier. When you are in the trenches and all hell is going down and you lost momentum, that guy standing in the middle of the field, it ain't gonna be no Mario, it ain't gonna be all the great coaches. It's gonna be those kids in the middle of that field, and somebody is gonna have to say, let's go get this money, or let's make this stop. And they all gonna have to be able to rally behind that guy. And it can't be the guy on the sideline because he's not between them white lines at that moment.
They gotta do it to where they can't. They gotta be accountable to where I can't let my teammate down. My leader out here, get like James Williams last year with the North Carolina shit.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable, bro. I'm not gonna let my guy be by himself. I can't let you down, bro. It's like we ain't had no team camaraderie over the last couple of years. That's what I was.
What happened at North Carolina, Lambeau?
Bro,
okay. So North Carolina had just scored a touchdown, and James Williams was in the end zone on the, I think it was the west side end zone, and it was like 12, maybe 15 North Carolina players all around James, like shoving and pushing James, James pushing and shoving back, and he's the only Hurricane there. The rest of the team, the defense, walked to the sideline. And I'm looking at it like, nah, this can't be real. This did not just happen to UM.
That's not Hurricane football.
It was there,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, how's that even possible? Like for a coach, I know Uncle Luke coach, anybody else coach, that's very unacceptable. Like you really get into your team for letting that happen. And then the staff didn't do it. From that moment on, I say, yeah, the team is very dysfunctional because now you got the older guys felt like they was being tried because the younger guys was coming in to play. So now they don't even want to help the younger guys. So can't have that no more. Like Uncle Luke say, man, you need somebody who's gonna be on that field and say, hey, man, we need this one last stop. Cam Kitchens, we need this one last stop to win this game. Let's go make this tackle, this open field tackle.
I think Avante was like the only person who said something. He wasn't even. I don't know if he was there. He wasn't playing. I know that. But he the only one who said something.
Smith, the two that said something, but they wasn't even on the field because they both was hurt. Well, one was hurt and the one didn't play.
Yeah, Avante said never again. I was like, what the fuck was everybody else at, man? That shit, I'll never forget that damn scene, bro. That shit bugged the shit out of me.
It was trust me, it was a horrible scene. But you know what I'm saying, like Luke said, we do need that leader. I do think James Williams is that guy. TVD is definitely that guy on offense. We still need somebody else. But if Restrepo is that guy, then I'm good with it. Again, I'm with Luke. I don't want no transfer coming in and being my leader. If that happens, that means you just can't get players from your own city or who you recruit to be leaders.
That's the only thing. I don't have a problem with that. Like I would prefer it somebody here, somebody on scholarship that came from here. But if a guy come in and he's a good leader, because leaders are, leadership is a natural thing, man. You don't just make a leader. So we get a KJ Osborne.
I mean, I just don't feel that's not. You can't tell me a guy coming from UCLA is supposed to come to UM and just be an instant leader. I just don't believe it.
But you gotta also think about it but you gotta also think about it in this aspect. We haven't had a season yet without the old staff. So now you got to deprogram those old players into the new program. And if they weren't leaders before, it's going to be hard to make them leaders now. So I think what's going to end up happening this year, you might have a transfer that end up becoming a leader, or you might have a young guy that becomes a leader. I mean, I don't know, but the main thing is during camp is building that camaraderie. Like when they leave camp, they got to feel like they brothers. Like dead ass, that's my blood brother, knowing that they not. And that's where you're going to get people to stand up, hold each other accountable. Here, they're going to hold themselves accountable, and they're going to go through a brick wall for their brother. So we got to stop forgetting that when you have dysfunction, dysfunction has to be deprogrammed. And we not there.
Hey, speaking to your point, though, speaking to her point about the freshmen and stuff, I do think we do have some good ones coming in that can, turn into leaders. I like the way certain guys speak. I like the way what's his name, the cornerback, Jaden Harris speak. We know Jacoby Brown is gonna. Yeah, we know Jacoby Brown is gonna be a leader. If we land Bain is definitely gonna be a leader. So there's a lot of young guys.
The 21 class was full of leaders. Like that whole class was full of leaders. They all was true freshmen last year, so they'll be sophomores this year. That whole class was full of true leaders all up and down the field.
I think that's where you're gonna find most of your leaders from, because one, they were there for a less amount of time, and two, they came in kind of with a mindset of let's go.
Yeah. They was
Because they
like
look how
trying
they
to
took
earn
all
their
them
spot.
upperclassmen spots. They took everybody's spot. So that right
yeah,
there in itself show leadership.
yeah.
Miss
That was the
Kelly,
thing. I know. Speaking with them, even during the season, a lot of them were like, "Man, we didn't come from losing programs in high school, so we don't know what's going on. This is something new, and we ain't standing for it. So we finna get in the game. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get in the game and do what we do, which is win." And that
you
was
said
their
you said
mindset. So
And they was the
said
best
a
ones.
mouthful there because everybody on this level, everybody was the baddest thing in their little hometown, baddest guy on their team, baddest guy who stood up in the paint, who you depended on to get that sack or get that touchdown on their high school team for 4 years. They was the guy. And so again, now you say, okay, now you go into a whole nother level, it becomes different. I was the man. I was the man at my high school. I was the man in my town. So people start looking around, and probably looking for leadership where they can be. But then if they go in the shell, and if you don't have a staff, but we got this kind of staff. This is the old school staff. I talk to these guys all the time. They will pull that out of them because that's what we talk about. Whether it's Steele, Charlie, or Mario, they will find that guy, and lean on that guy and hold him accountable and responsible for those rooms and for that team. Miss Kelly, you must be coached with me for a whole bunch of years because you use the same terms I use on a daily basis, especially when it comes deprogram to reprogram. That's my favorite word. Hey. That's funny.
I've been coaching a long time and around a lot of coaches, but it's the natural way of life. I mean, whether you're a coach or not, you should know that when something is dysfunctional, you got to get rid of the dysfunction before you can make it right. So that's just kind of an obvious thing that I see the staff has really tapped into that because the relationships that has been built with the boys, just the way practice has been run, they've already started that deprogramming process. But I think this camp is gonna be the total deprogramming, and then you're gonna see a totally different football team on September 3rd.
Yeah. I think like Mama Kelly say, they already started it. They doing a great job at it. For the little time that they had, because you can see things are totally different. I think today a tweet came out about they asked some of the players, and they said no disrespect to Manny Diaz, but we just listened to Mario a lot more because he played here and won here. You know what I'm saying? So I kept telling people from day one when Manny Diaz got the job, I said, man, it was something that the University of Miami didn't think deep about because he was never a part of the program. He stayed in Miami. That was it. He knew about the history. He never was a part of it. Now we have a coach that was a part of it, that played for it, that won for it. So he knows when you put this U on, it's not a joke. This brotherhood, I don't think it's a college program that has a brotherhood deeper than how UM has. When you put that U on, you have to go out there and really represent that U. And now the players are starting to understand that because Mario they putting it in them like, hey, this you got a U. Jerome Brown had that U. You know what I'm saying? Michael Irvin had that U. Ray Lewis, them guys, Ed Reed, they had that U. They ain't just put it on because it looked good. They had that U because they understood what came with that. So
yeah, I'm gonna give Manny a small pass because it ain't his fault that the upper management didn't know no goddamn better. So I ain't gonna blame Manny. I'm gonna put that on everybody else.
I guess so, man. But I was from day one. I said when he got that high, I was like, "Oh, it's bad." We doing the same thing we doing over and over, man. Being cheap, not looking at the bigger picture. We just saying, man, hey, he had a good defense when he's a defensive coordinator. it's being the defensive coordinator and being the head coach aren't the same thing. So
yeah, I saw one of these tweets on one of these I think Kane Warning or something like that, where they basically tweeted that the entire defense of starters will be probably new, different starters. Is that a fact?
Nah, if it came from Kane Warner, don't believe it.
Oh, okay.
That's a site I don't think anybody really pay much attention to. But
oh, okay, no problem. Well, that's what y'all.
But truthfully told, I think from the defensive line and the linebackers, we will have new starters.
Or maybe they mean since I was gonna say maybe they mean since game 1 of last year, because that whole front seven may be different. And the safeties wasn't starting last year at game 1, but the corners was. So the corners would definitely be the same. So maybe that's what they was thinking.
Yeah, I think the secondary most likely be the same. Maybe Porter gets a starting position maybe, but the defensive line and the linebackers is going to definitely be new guys, new starters.
Yeah, technically the safeties new starters, but we know they should have been playing last year.
I mean, they started the end of the season, so they started.
But I meant beginning of the season. That's the only way they can get away with that tweet or whatever the hell they said. Because we started off with Bubba and Bubba and what's his name? Gervin Hall. So, but whatever.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think the defense is gonna be pretty good this year. The way Coach Stills and Coach Strong is going to use the defense, I think it's going to be pretty good. And if the offense could do what the offense did last year, scoring 30, what we scored, 33 points a game, something like that, right? If you could score 33 points a game, and your defense could hold, between 15 and 20 a game, you should win 10 games or more. We can't keep being in these dog fights, these 30, 35, 34 games, 38, 36. Like, we can't keep being in dog fights.
A dog fight is okay. It's just you can't be in them shits with fucking Virginia that's what I'm saying. As long as if you dog fighting with Alabama or something, cool. Just not with goddamn Virginia.
We're talking about
shit.
We in dog fights with Virginia, North Carolina State, North Carolina.
Field goal games with Georgia Tech. Appalachian State.
Appalachian State. We gotta kick a field goal to beat Appalachian State.
Lord have mercy.
This is what UM football had turned into. Like, you can't be in dog fights with them. Come on, man. Man, I remember talking to Willis McGahee, man, and we was playing Duke, and he would laugh. He like, dog, we actually in the game with Duke. And I just couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, oh, we really in the game with Duke. We talk about the University of Duke. I mean,
yeah, but hey, let me ask you a question, Ed. So you saying 10 wins is on the players this year, right?
10 wins on the players.
10 wins on the players. So is there anything, any hole that you can see in the offensive staff, not the offensive staff, but the coaching staff possibly that can get us not there? Because, like, to me, I guess the only question I would have is I'm not doubting Gaddis at all or nothing like that, but he has to shake that whole, like, don't get me wrong, I love some of the stuff he's gonna probably bring from Michigan, but he gotta understand he has to rely on TVD, and I'm pretty sure he does, but he can't just like overwhelm people with the run and shit, man. You got that goddamn candy shop back there, you got to use it, bro.
Okay, so I don't know why people get to going crazy with the running game. Michigan had what? They had a 1,000-yard rusher, they had a 900-yard rusher, they had a 500-yard rusher. If that's bad, then I love it. I love it. They didn't have TVD at quarterback, obviously. So just imagine if we get a 1,000-yard rusher, a 900-yard rusher with TVD.
Oh no, I want that. I'm just saying I just don't want him to overdo it. Like, bro, TVD is your team. You better let that boy throw the ball. Now I don't want him throwing 50 a game.
But Mario liked to run too. So
TVD.
That's what I'm worried about too.
Gaddis is a pass first coach.
Right.
A lot of people don't.
That's all I'm worried about.
He loves to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So and then you know what Mario did? Mario went and got Gaddis. He went and got Frank Parks. You got two offensive minds within that staff that can help. You know what I'm saying? And he did the same on defense. He went and got Coach Stills. He went and got Coach Strong. You got two defensive minds that can help. You can't always have a coach that always proclaims he's the smartest in the room. Because when that happens, guess what? Everybody trying to figure out what that guy want to say. Nobody knows what's going on until that guy say something. So now Mario has guys who can rely on each other. And like I say, man, I don't see a hole in the coaching staff at all. I think if it don't happen, it's the players.
Yeah, you got coaches with a million years of experience, and they know GAs as the defensive coordinator. You know,
no GA. I mean, then you got
high school coaches.
Look at the defensive line.
Guys, yeah, you ain't got no guys who never coached before, coaching the DBs on no level. You know what I'm saying? Not to throw some people under the bus, but this big time football. I mean, you need to go. You can't have an FIU staff coaching at University of Miami. You know, and I said that a long time ago when Lane went and put his staff together at FAU. And I said, this is the best staff in the state of Florida. Everybody was like, man, why you want to say that? Because he had experienced coaches up and down the line. And what ended up happening? He stayed there for a couple of years and he got him a big check. You gotta have a staff because you gotta be able to bounce that information off, and you gotta have some dudes who have seen a whole lot.
How everybody doing? Yeah, I was trying to come up when you was talking about the Gaddis and the Michigan offense, but if nobody ain't know, they had 3,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards that season, like last year.
Yeah, that's a balanced offense. That's 6,000 yards of total offense. I want that at University of Miami.
Yeah. And they had it was like 65 touchdowns, so it was like they split. They split the ball between like 3 running backs, and then they had like a lot of receivers that had like 500, 400. Like the ball went around to a lot of people.
Yeah, I want that. Trust me, I want that for the University of Miami. If we
I'm
could
good with
do that
that.
at UM, and our defense could sustain between 15 to 20 points a game, I think we have a very successful season, and that's what I'm looking at.
X, besides the coaching staff, X, what is it that what's making you think the defense is gonna make a turnaround? Because that shit got ugly last year.
Okay, the defense didn't have no assignments last year. It was actually go out there, man, and the best man make a play. Best man make a play. The linebacker, we didn't have a linebacker coach for the last 6 years. I don't know how was that even possible? They telling the defensive line to just attack, get upfield. If you don't get the man, the linebackers will get him. But
wait, I thought Packey was coaching linebackers.
Who?
Packey was coaching linebackers. That's Streeter boy.
I don't even know who that guy is. I never heard of him.
What you just said is crazy, because that was the downfall of our defense, because the defensive line was trying to wreak havoc so much that the linemen had free release on our linebackers, so they were just tearing everybody up. Like, you don't notice them when they was running the ball, the first person that did it was tackling the person with the safety. Like, that shit fucked up.
Yeah, because the linebacker the one taking on the blockers, and then the safety got to make the tackle. We've had previously for the last maybe 4 years, I guess since Shaq left, our safeties have led the team in tackles, both of them. You know, that's not really a good defense.
You want to know something that I thought about? I was like, you know how we've been talking about our linebackers. I was like, I don't know. I throw all that out the window. I'm like, let them play this year. They might all look better.
Yeah, I think I expect the linebacker group to get better because they get better taught. Charlie Strong, he's a non-tolerance guy. So, you know, when you mess up, he definitely get into you about that, but you know he still teaches you at the same time. So he wants you to learn, but you know you gotta have some tough skin because he's old school. He ain't sugarcoating it. You know what I'm saying? He's not finna hold your hand and say, "Oh, it's going to be all right." No, he's going to say,
Man, that's the coaching they need. Because I was tired of you got somebody that go out there and drop 3-4 balls and they ain't on the bench yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, the defense, the defense was bad. But I think now that they're going to have full assignments, they're aware of what each player on the defense is supposed to do. That's when you get a better defense, a better system. When each player is aware, now they're going to be held accountable to each player. Okay, well, you do this. As long as you do your job, my job becomes a lot easier for me to do, from the defensive line to the linebackers to the secondary room. So when you just got them out there, just say, "Hey man, just go out there, man. If you make the play, you make the play." It's going to get bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you could easily coach around that. So the defense, I know the defense will be a lot better than last year. Again, like I say, the number, 33? If we could get to 33, 35 points a game, we should have a very, very good season. I just don't see anybody on our schedule with as much talent as us besides Clemson and Texas A&M. And still, both of them are question marks because Clemson don't have a good quarterback. Texas A&M don't have a good quarterback. So I just feel like we have the talent. We have it. I'm not going to say we're going to win 10, 12 games, but we have the talent to win 10 games.
Yeah, the talent and the schedule, just like every year.
Yeah, my question is, I know y'all get to watch limited amounts of practice, but that's closer than a lot of people get. I'm kind of interested, because we talked a lot about the receivers. Some people said it was an overreaction, the spring game. So based upon what y'all got to see, what were some of the weaknesses of the team? And then do you think it was an overreaction from the drops in the spring game where everybody was like, man, we need receivers. They just had a bad day.
Yeah, they did. I think it was a bad day. I think it was overreaction. Gaddis was very vanilla with his offense. His offense, he didn't throw anything out there. It was basically, hey, okay, this is what it is. Let's see if this formation, this set, will be good. Okay, it's not good. Okay, let's switch to this set. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because when the season starts, he have a list of plays that works. When he was calling the plays in the spring, it was just like, hey, let's see what's going on. Let's see if this works. Let's see if you could put Restrepo and Brashad Smith on the field at the same time. Certain schemes and sets like that. So I think it was an overreaction, man, by the fans. Drops are bad. You don't want them to happen, but it's spring. The drops was bad last spring. And then Rambo came along. You know what I'm saying? Once he got on the field, everybody was happy. So I don't pay attention to spring. Spring is, let's get everybody healthy. You know what I'm saying? And get them ready for fall. That's my whole thing. Everybody was coming out healthy was a plus. Bob, what's up? You got a question?
Yeah, I was just talking about the same thing about the overreaction. And then, all the Oregon fans getting in all the Miami fans' head talking about how TVD was like dunking the ball down and all that stuff. And then, I was on the timeline telling people like, you probably ain't even gonna open the playbook up till the third game of the season. Like they ain't trying to show anything.
Yeah, I mean, who cares what Oregon fans say? Oregon fans don't know nothing about winning, period.
They ain't never won a championship. They got all the girl and can't get the girl.
Yeah, so TVD dunking the ball down. I mean, look, one thing about football, man, is you take what you take to get something extra. So if I have to dump it down all the time for me to get one play, a one bomb, a game play, I take it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how you coach football. You don't coach and say, well, I want to start out throwing deep balls every play. And if it don't work, what happens? Now you come down. You know what I'm saying? So it was vanilla. It was a spring game. Like, really? Nobody's getting ranked off a spring game. That's just crazy. And not to mention, we got 2 games before we play Texas A&M. We got Texas A&M. Bethune-Cookman and I think I forget the next team we play, but we should be. We got two warm-up games.
Southern Miss.
Who it is?
Southern Miss, the one that Frank Gorson played for.
So we played them the second. I know we played them the fourth game.
Oh, so the second is it Middle Tennessee? Hold on, let me look.
Middle Tennessee. I think it's Middle Tennessee.
Let me look real fast.
Yeah, I think it's Middle Tennessee. So if it's Middle Tennessee, then we got two warm-up games.
Oh no, it's Southern Miss.
It's Southern Miss. Oh, so when
we got Bethune, Southern Miss, Texas A&M, then Middle Tennessee.
Oh, okay. So Middle Tennessee is the fourth game. I don't know why I thought it was the second game. So yeah, we got two warm-up games to Texas A&M. So we should be locked and loaded by the time we get this College Station, man. Do you want to just throw everything out there the first two games? No, for what? You give Texas A&M something to look at. Oh, they're gonna run the ball. Okay, no problem. Then once we get to them and TVD starts slinging that ball all around the field, they like, oh man. So
yeah, I like the two warm-up games because the last 3 seasons have been Alabama, LSU, and like the Gators. So I like the two warm-up games.
I mean, and then I have no problem with that playing them teams, but you got to be ready, prepared. Like, can't go out, man. We was unprepared when we went to play Alabama. We was very unprepared, like literally. It was just so bad, man. It was bad. It was horrible. The Florida game was the only time we was prepared, and we ended up losing that one. LSU was unprepared. So
LSU,
you unprepared, you going.
LSU was that was a real frustrating game, just because, like, man, it just felt like a play here, a play there, and it could have been real interesting. It was
and then Mark Richt, that's Mark Richt, his last year. I hate how he did that situation with what's the quarterback, Mike Perry. I hate how he did that situation with Perry. Like, we all went into that thinking Perry was going to be the starter. And then 2 days before we get ready to leave to go to Dallas, Perry's not going to play. What? He's not playing? What you mean? We got.
Let me ask you this, X, because y'all was watching practice at that time too, right?
Yeah.
Did it seem like Perry was the best quarterback? I know, man. I know it's a stupid question, but did it seem like, could you tell in practice, like, okay, this gonna be Perry team, and then it was just a shock to y'all? Because I didn't find out to kickoff.
Yeah, it was shocking.
I had done placed my bets. Everything was locked and loaded. I'm like,
it was shocking because we went into that game thinking Perry was going to be the starting quarterback. And the only thing I could say we knew for sure was we knew they was not giving total control to Perry at all. Like, Perry had to literally do exactly what they told him to do. And that's, that was just a situation that it wasn't good for him. Well, I could say it because he was still a lot, young, immature, doing certain situations and stuff like that. But we just knew that Mark Richt was not going to allow him to have total control on the field at quarterback position. It was like, hey, you better do this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do this, coming out. You know what I'm saying? So he just was in like a lose-lose situation at that point. And then, as you know, 2 days before, he's not going to play. Rozier's the guy. And not saying Rozier couldn't get the job done, but we just, the team was hyped for Perry. Everybody was hyped for Perry, and then it just didn't happen. Anybody else got some more questions, man?
But I think he had a lot of hype going into that season, just based off of everything he did the year before. But yeah, he was definitely in over his head. I ain't got no hate for his year. I think he did a lot of good things for the U. And his time here is just that offense wasn't where it was at yet with Joe Burrow, but that defense was on a different level with that LSU team.
And that was the crazy thing. That wasn't the Joe Burrow. That wasn't the offense that we seen.
That was a whole year before he went off. So,
so we lucked up really, and we played them pretty good.
We only lost by 16.
Hey, man, listen. If we had a quarterback that game, Jeff Thomas was killing those DBs.
Yeah,
That
he
first
was wide
route
open every play.
of the game, that first route of the game, if Malik would have got that ball there, that would have been a different game.
Yeah.
I
Jeff
agree.
Thomas was open every
Bro,
play.
he
literally
killed
every
them
play.
DBs.
My biggest thing though was that game is I don't think Malik was necessarily as bad as people are picking him. I think that motherfucking O-line cannot do a damn thing.
Real
He was
talk.
over
That's
with.
real talk.
That O-line was overwhelmed in over their head. They
From the
just they didn't
start.
have. Yeah,
Yeah, the O-line was
they had
bad.
no
The O-line
chance.
was bad, but still, again, Malik had time to throw the ball. He just wasn't getting it
Yeah, he
out
did.
there. Jeff Thomas was literally open almost every time he took off. And I think that was the game when Amar ended up getting hurt. Man, it was rough. We couldn't run, we couldn't do nothing. It just was bad, man. And then,
I'm gonna
like
tell
I
you who
said,
was a monster. I'm gonna tell you who was a monster that game. You talking about LSU, right?
yeah.
Gerald Willis was a monster that game.
Oh yeah. Gerald Willis was killing it. I mean, that whole season, he killed that whole season. He was just killing it. But yeah, that particular game, he was terrorizing that LSU offensive line. So
one of my best friends is an LSU fan. He said I've never seen a receiver do that to our DBs.
That was why
this is Corey Raymond, coach DBs.
That was why
I've never seen.
That was Jeff Thomas was mad because of that right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeff was definitely mad. I mean, he wasn't the only one that was mad, but he was definitely mad that they couldn't give him the ball, man. But we got us a quarterback now that could get the ball out to anybody. We obviously don't have a Jeff Thomas type speed on the roster, but we got some players who can make some plays, man. I'm very excited about the way things are going right now with University of Miami. Just being around that program for so long, man. Watching it like with my eyes up close, seeing things, and I know it's wrong, but I can't say anything because I'm just a media guy.
You trying to maintain your
even before I started with media, when I was coaching, I was like, man, how is this even like possible that it's going on at UM? But it just was so bad, man. So I'm just excited about what things are going on with the staff, the players. Things are getting back to where it's supposed to be, where they are holding each other accountable and expecting more from each other.
But be honest, man. I'm saying by us being in practice and being at all the practices from Rick to Manny to now, those goddamn practices are totally different. It's no music.
It's night and day.
It's no dancing. It's no bullshitting around. Everything is ran by a fucking whistle.
Yeah, now I don't think the players, man, like sometimes, man, the players be looking dead tired, and I be like, yeah, they don't get no rest, man. It's like once you leave from this drill, you got to go to the next one.
And you know what? I think it's crazy too. Yesterday, we talked about Blaze here before, I'm pretty sure, but yesterday was the first time I seen Blaze was not playing Call of Duty on his stream. This man was Twitch streaming at the practice facility, like getting work and getting reps in. You see Cam Kitchens, you see all these other DBs, they out there getting reps in. I think that's what Ron McKelly was talking about, the mindset of his team being different on September 3rd. It's because these guys understand how it's a culture shift.
Man,
and when that happens, that changes everything.
You brought up Blaze, and sometimes, man, because he been out so long, I forgot about Blaze. And I know a lot of people saying he's gonna play safety, but I really feel like we missed him last year being a cornerback. I really felt like the cornerback play would have been better had he been in there, because the year he played corner, I mean, even against that year against when we started out with Florida, he actually played pretty good. And I felt
Blaze has always been pretty good at cornerback. So if you just imagine if you had Blaze and Stevenson on the outside,
but he did fall off though, bro. He had a down year after that year, bro. Blaze had started struggling, man.
Man,
he ended up getting hurt.
He was hurt though.
I think Couch struggled, but what I'm saying is with him, you got a chance if a guy's struggling to kind of pull him and reset him. Like Couch, you wouldn't have both of them on the field at the same time. So you'd have had
you're right.
You'd have had Blaze come in and then Couch, because Couch, to me, I think Couch might have been hurt last year. I don't know, but he didn't play well last year.
Some mental issues last year with him on the field, but He looks like he got it together. Okay, so this I don't even want to talk about last year or the previous staff, but last year you have a thing going on with the players. You know, when Mama Kelly say you got dysfunctional players, they got that from the staff because the staff is dysfunctional. The staff ain't even trusting each other. They're not even trusting their colleagues. You know what I'm saying? So players look at that and like, hey man, they crazy, they going crazy, but we might as well do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was just so much that was just bad.
Shit. Manny and T. Rob wasn't getting along.
Manny and T. Rob didn't get along. And the crazy thing is,
He
Manny
sold
never
T. Rob a
used to come to
dream.
practice. Manny would never be on the field until he'd come out there probably like 45, 30 minutes before practice over, and then that's when he started trying to do things. And I was like, well, that's dumb. How you not gonna be on the field? You got this man coaching the defense while you in your office getting AC, but then when you come down, now you want to start making all the calls. Like, what's that about? You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy.
He wasn't on the field for the start practice.
The man didn't come down to the field until like maybe an hour. I give him an hour before practice is over. Like Mama Kelly's at practice. When they walk on that field, start stretching, Coach Mario is right there.
Right there. Yep.
He is right there. All the coaches. There's about 30-something of them. They all right there. So practice is night and day different, man. It's no joking. Ain't no sitting around laughing.
Ain't no dancing.
No dancing, none of that.
Even the guy in red jerseys, the hurt guys are on the sideline working, running up and down, riding bikes, doing all type of shit.
Hey,
man.
You seen that? Have you seen the running back play that they offered today? Christopher Johnson from Dillard.
Yeah, I know you talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think he's a 20.
Hold on, I'm gonna look at it. Say 2023. I was just looking at his verified times, and he run a 10.45 in the 100. That's pretty fast.
Oh, that's real fast. That's real fast.
Yeah, that's blazing fast. That's blazing fast.
Yeah, say they offered him today.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't know how much would they push for him, but that's fast, man. He's 10-4. That's fast.
I'm gonna take this too, man. Like you take speed and you can figure it out. Like you can have a role for him. And now at running back, I keep hearing a lot about Fletcher and Baxter. I just don't want them to just go exclusively after them two backs. Like I want them to cast a wide net. And I keep hearing about Baxter, and I like both of those backs, but you know how that be, man. I remember.
Yeah,
but that's players, and then if we get left at the altar, we ain't got.
Oh no, man!
I was gonna say that's probably because you got so many. You got so many backs. That's probably why too, though. You got so many backs that's there right now.
Yeah, but
so it's kind of like maybe not. You're right, but you got so many backs right now, so it's kind of like
I just know for I look. I don't look. Cedric Baxter and Mark Fletcher, I just know it don't matter what anybody's saying.
Man, give me both.
You go after them two guys right there. I don't until the ink is dry. You go after those two guys. That's just unless I don't even. I'm taking those two. You know what I'm saying? There's no other running backs in the class that I'm going to go crazy about. Richard Young, he's good, but I won't Cedric Baxter and Mark Fletcher. Those two. So. That's it, man. Hey, I see Antonio Tripp, man. He just jumped in, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's good, man? How you doing?
We good, man. We just, we talked to your father earlier, man. How things going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He just told me.
Yeah, man. So he gave us a little story about you switching over to center, man, and you playing. He said he was scared for you, man. Tell us about that little situation.
Wait, you said what? You cut out there for a sec.
Oh no, your dad told us a little story about I guess your one of your teammates played center, got hurt, and you had switched over and started playing center, and your dad was, I guess he was like nervous for you switching over to that position, man. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, it was in the middle of the game. I starting center had he got something, but he just dropped down, and I was the only guy on the team who had taken some center rep. I ain't never played a snap center in my life. So that was my first game playing center. I jump in, I jump straight in the game. We losing at the time. I jump in. The first snap, I ain't gonna lie, was bad. It went straight to the ground. I was nervous. I was like, oh shit, let me get myself together. But yeah, after that, I just kind of got in the role. I say center's what I have the most fun at. Because I feel like I'm really control the offense. Me and the quarterback. And it's like I know like every person on that field is moving on my go. So I got control and know what's happening. So I really like that. So it allows me to really in my head plan out exactly what I'm gonna do. It's just like I know as soon as I hike that ball, all right, bam, I'm gonna down block this guy, get him out my way, hit the linebacker, or in pass blocks, bam, drop back, bam, get this guy some help, really control that, protect that middle of the line of scrimmage. But yeah, I like center, but of course, I just play everything.
You play anything? What the way you recruited you? Are they saying you're going to be the center, or you just to be an interior offensive lineman where you can move to center or guard?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mirabal is kind of just talking to me about really, like you said, just an interior lineman.
Okay.
Wherever they need me at, really, that's my biggest thing.
Okay, you just ready to go wherever they need you. That's what we're talking about right there, man.
So hey, Antonio,
how many times you been down here to South Florida?
It's actually funny. My first time down in South Florida was when I committed. So.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
wow.
So that's when I knew it. Straight away.
When you came, you just felt it like, man, I belong to the city, huh?
Yeah, my coaches always told me. And my former teammates who committed, they just said they just knew. And I was like, yeah, bro. I just knew. Like this where I want to be at.
Hey, Turner, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
A lot of your future teammates they just got on campus. Have you been able to talk to any of them yet about what that process is, moving in, enrolling, and stuff like that?
I can't even lie. No, I haven't. I know I need to, but I want to say that the 22 guys that I have been talking to, Jaleel Skinner, and I forgot his name. The DN from Las Vegas. Cyrus
Moss.
Yeah, Cyrus. I've been talking to Cyrus a lot. Those are two guys I've just been talking to. I mean, definitely got to talk to more guys. I follow all the guys on social media, but never really reached out. Talking like the Robbie Washington. We chopped up a couple times. Haven't talked much to Bobby. I think he's more like more of a quiet guy. But talked to Bobby. Still talking to all the 23 commits. But to answer your question, yeah, nah.
Hey, we appreciate you doing that, my guy.
Definitely. Nah, I mean, I think I feel like I really don't get it when like people, people like I thought when people say that, because I thought this was like the bare minimum. Like I thought like this is my class, this is like these are people I'm gonna be playing with for like 4 years. So why am I not trying to do everything in my power to get them out there, showing them what the 305 is all about,
Hey, Antonio, speaking on that and speaking of what you were saying about, how it feels now that you don't play center. We were talking about leadership earlier. And, as a center, you're the leader of the line. You got to make calls and all those things.
Yes, sir.
And I said to your dad, you see the way he's recruiting, he might be a natural center because he got that. He's leading the way already. So do you feel that? Like, do you feel that leadership part about being center, and do you enjoy that part of it?
Yeah. I definitely think about it because I definitely like being a leader. I feel like every time I step on the line, I know exactly what I'm doing. Like even with my high school, I'm always the guy helping guys remember the snap count or where they're going. So I mean, I always felt that leader role on the offensive line here at my high school, really, and also just a leader of my team in general. Yeah, definitely like that leader role, playing the center position.
Okay, so we got X. We got us a Joaquin Gonzalez, man. He need to get a little Joaquin.
I love it. I love. Hey, you know, I played quarterback, so you know, me and the center was always best friends. But yeah, man, Antonio, man, we got Mama Kelly, man. Mama Kelly, she's an official Footballville mom. She also is a Hurricane mom. You know, her son is Najee Kelly. He plays for Hurricane. You got any questions about this whole process of thing that's going on? You can ask her. She knows exactly what you're going through right now. So, you know, you got any questions to ask us, man? Ask us, man. We here to talk. Whatever you need, some info, some. We got a team of people who know about the NIL deals. Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? We here. We here, man. You know, once you become a Hurricane, man, you are family for life.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, man. I know you probably got school in the morning, man. We ain't gonna hold you long, man. So thanks for joining us. And tell your pops, man, thanks for joining us too.
Of course, no problem. All right, have a great night, y'all.
You too. Medi, I don't see what's his name in here. I don't know if you got anything to say about the IOD stuff, the NIL stuff. You got something to say about that?
IOD Squad, you know what I'm saying? Link is up in the top as always. I'm trying to learn about the stock market right now. Great time. Stock market is down. It's red. Most people freaking out. That's not when we freak out. That's when we're supposed to be buying everything.
Buy. I'm telling you.
Facts. So go ahead and we Street does a good job of going in there. Me, Street, Rich. I mean, we ain't financial experts, you know what I'm saying? Do your own research, but we try to use the knowledge that we've acquired from our own research and try to help everybody else find their niche as far as financial space goes. Even for me, I'm still learning. I'm going to see another financial advisor in person tomorrow while I'm up here by me because they came in and talked to me today and gave me some good insight. So we always learning, and that's the whole purpose of it. We're not trying to take your money. We're trying to give you an opportunity to figure out better ways to use and invest your money so that you can make the most informed decision for your future, help build generational wealth, stuff like that. That's all we about over here, man. So that's what we're trying to help y'all do. So that's all I got. Appreciate it.
Mama Kelly, go ahead and introduce the website you and your son have and the cars and stuff like that.
I was listening, y'all. My nephew trying to sleep with me, so I was trying to keep it quiet for a second. But I was trying to get back on before the kid left to let him know, you know, he can't reach out to me. But
yeah. I told him, you know, if you got anything to reach out to you, any questions about what's going on between recruiting, NIL, whatever, just he can reach out to you. So he said he will.
I'm trying to kind of back it up though, you know, definitely. But it's fine. But no, the website is nk9k.com. It has his first t-shirt, and it's not directed to him, so his name is not on it, but his logo is on it, and then he has his decision trading card. Anybody need any information when it comes to this recruiting process, we will be doing our own space where it's just me talking about everything from recruiting from the start. And when I say the start, from optimist level all the way through signing day. Look for that very soon. If anybody have any questions in the meantime, I am open to whatever that I can. If I can't answer the question, I'll direct you to somebody who can, or I research that thing, because that's another thing that I'm trying to get into too, where I'm trying to do some consulting as well. So I'm open for whatever.
Yes. So anybody else in here that needs some questions, you got some kids that's playing, that's in little league, high school, whatever. You know, Mama Kelly's here. Obviously, you know, Footballville, Caneville, we're here too. You know, we do a lot for the community between little leagues and high schools, stuff like that. you got any questions about whatever, just reach out to us, man. We here for the people, man, and we thank you guys for allowing us to be here for you guys. You got any questions for anything, just let us know, man. And I hope you guys got your season tickets, man, because it's coming before you blink, man. It's gonna be here September 3rd to be here, and we'll be playing at the Hard Rock Stadium. I got a question for everybody. For all the speakers. Okay, so the stadium situation. I don't know if they came to agreement yet with the Ruiz family about building or adding or helping the other big family. I forget their name. That's getting ready to build the soccer stadium.
Moss.
I don't know how that's going. But looking into it, it looked like it was probably the best idea. But I really don't want to share a stadium no more. I really want to get our own. How you guys feel about it? Like, do you just say, hey, okay, let's just go with the plan, go with the flow, or do you still try to push to get your own?
Hey, my answer stay the same from the last time, bro. If we ain't got our own stadium, we might as well stay where we at.
I call the stadium the S word because it's coming up so often. It's almost becoming a word that I really don't want to hear. But for me, I feel like unless you could, like you say, unless you could get your own stadium that you could wholeheartedly capitalize off of, stay at the Hard Rock. The Hard Rock, as far as entertainment, is the best place to be. I don't even know if that that stadium is going to happen near the airport, just from people talking about it that work at the airport. It don't look like that's gonna get cleared by the federal government, so I don't know.
I don't
Oh wow! So I never even really I paid attention to the fact that it is by the airport, like literally right there. So yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, it don't make sense to have a stadium right there because that's too much noise for one. And then the FDA definitely ain't gonna clear that. I mean, it's just a question that I always get asked in the DM about the stadium situation, and I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I mean, we playing at the Hard Rock right now. Even if it does happen, it's probably be like 3 to 4 years down the road anyway. So
the FAA is a factor, and I didn't mind the stadium only because my guy came in and explained it on game. The dude that came and explained that one day, he explained that basically half the profits from the sales and all that stuff would help profit the school. So that was my only pro that I saw. If tailgating and all that stuff is allowed, that doesn't happen at other schools, because they have college campuses. If that was still allowed, then I was okay with the stadium. But yeah, if that area is not going to be cleared by the FAA, then it doesn't make any sense. So
the traffic over there. Dog, the traffic them little ass lanes over there by the airport. Oh my gosh, bro.
Well, I'm not so much worried about the traffic because what's happening is if you're going over there now, they're building so much new lanes where you could get in and out around there. So that's not going to be as bad.
And
the traffic at Tropical Park would be real bad because there's nothing over there.
Yes, and that's
what I'm saying. There's nothing over there, so it'll be like you in and you gotta wait to get out. So
it's a residential area nearby. So
the only major concern I always had was you joining with other with stadium with other sports and stuff like that with the revenue. You know what I'm saying? I want UM to receive 100% full revenue because I think we've earned it. You know what I'm saying? We've earned it from going back from the 80s to now. We earned it. And we just shouldn't have to share revenue with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because if UM is good and everybody else bad, guess what? UM is everybody benefiting off of UM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
like on the last show, I'm saying y'all got to remember that Moss is on the board of directors.
Yeah. I heard he's on the board of directors.
Yeah, he's on the board of directors. So that's why we had the spring game up in Fort Lauderdale at the Pink Stadium.
Okay, it's all starting to make more sense now.
Yeah.
So that's the sad part, I guess. I mean, it's looking like, from what I've been hearing the last 2 weeks, it's looking like that's going to be the situation where we get to join that stadium with the soccer team.
With Freedom Park.
Yeah, so I mean, if it happens, it happens. You know, it's nothing we can do as fans. You know what I'm saying? Besides just be fans, man. We just got to keep supporting our kids and go from there.
So yeah, if you actually go back and listen to the Behind the U podcast with Daryl, and he talked to Rui Fernandez, they asked him about, you know, obviously their previous ties with Mario from Columbus and things like that. Them, the Moss brothers, Ramones, all those guys.
Yeah.
They're all friends. Like they all know each other. That's part of the reason why Mario came back here, and so they all have a vested interest. So that's why they spend all this money, because they understand that the return on their investment when Miami gets good again is
it's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back twofold.
Yeah.
They gonna get, so that's why they're so willing to not say like, hey, yeah, let's get into a joint deal with University of Miami and things of that nature. Let's have them in our stadium, because they understand that the profit that's gonna come back when Miami starts winning again is gonna be worth it. So he said it on the podcast. He's like, I'm willing to take that risk because I know now where the direction the University of Miami is going, whereas under a previous athletic director who shall not be named, you know what I'm saying, there really wasn't a direction. It was just kind of like rinse, cycle, repeat with an up-and-coming coordinator. He works out cool. He doesn't fire him, get another up-and-coming coordinator, and that wasn't working. So
yeah, so I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm all for it. The one plus, the positive I will say is the fact that the citizens would not be taxed because they independently funding the stadium and that whole situation. So that's the plus side. You live in South Florida, you live in Miami, around the area, you won't be taxed for what they're doing. I know if they built that Tropical Park, boy, the taxes was going up majorly. So that's the situation about that. Other than that, man, anybody else got something to say or ask before we get up out of here? That's a no. But again, man, thank y'all for joining us tonight. We was on here way longer than I expected.
Yeah.
But I missed last week, man. So I had to make up some time regardless, man. Thanks again. As Mady said, the IOD Squad joined. He explained it well. He said, look, the stock market is down right now. The best time to get in, to get you some money is now. Buy, because once it jump back up, you'd have been made you some chips where you can make some money. You know what I'm saying? Get in right now, man, and while you can, and just buy.
Hey, y'all, listen, there's always money to be made in the stock market, whether it's up or down. But like you're saying, it's the right time to get in. It's right now while things are down. Shit, I made about $400 a day. You gonna always make money, you know what I mean? So just roll with it, man. Trust me, IOD Squad, they ain't gonna let you down. They ain't gonna tell you no lies. You're gonna get you're gonna learn some things, and you're gonna follow some things. Just that simple.
Yeah, IOD Squad. We also got the NFTs. We got the NFTs out there too. Get them. I think they just did $1,000 to somebody last week. Was it last week, Betty? Or was it the week before?
I was looking at somewhere. Nick said came at Jimbo Neck, but what you asked? I'm sorry.
The NFTs. Did we just give out $1,000? Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago was $1,000 to somebody who purchased some NFTs. We always trying to do things to help each other, man, as a community together. So we here, man. Appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Everybody who spoke, thanks again. We got a lot more coming for you guys. And it's out. We peace to everybody.
Later,
everybody.